Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the good ship. Screwing Matt's volume levels over.
You were like, oh, this is my normal volume. I normally talk loud. Now suddenly you're talking extremely loud.
It's time for the Podcats!
With
special guest who I will introduce first. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. What Fan Hour is here today.
Hello!
And
that's loud
the
as well.
regulars. There's the one bitching about audio levels. That's Matt.
Fuck off.
And then he's wise, he's smart, and he's 18 feet tall. It's John!
Hello there.
Wow, I feel like none of you capitalized on my really super, like, pumped up introductions. Like, ah! And you're like, good evening. You're all too English for my good. I
Greetings.
Need to get a thing.
I'm the
Good
only
morrow.
non-English person here.
What? I'm not English.
I'm not English.
I'm not English. I'm not English.
You're English.
I'm not English.
I suppose you're from Essex. That doesn't really count.
Yeah.
But what's from Essex as well?
Essex is a different fucking world, mate.
It's a secret.
I'll fucking have you if you say that Essex is actually a part of England. Because I don't think so. Because we don't actually believe in England. Apart from
Essex
Yeah,
accent
I
I've
think
ever
if
heard.
they're from football.
That's not Essex accent, that's my London
I think
accent.
if Essex could vote out of England, they probably would.
Yeah, actually, Essex has already left the EU. We have actually already voted on that, and Essex is like, "Now we're fucking off, mate."
Are they like
yeah.
are they the Texas of England?
No. They're more.
Pretty much.
No, I'd say
Only
they're more the
without the
Alabama.
nice, warm,
they're more,
cuddly
they're
bit.
more like the Alabama, like the super South. Like they're just like there.
The thing is, though, here, right, we've got two Essex guys. We've got me from Dublin, Liverpool, and we have the posh twat, John.
I'm from Leicester.
That's
That's not that fucking posh.
It's
Not that posh. It just means I come from the greatest football team in the world.
In fairness, every person I know from Leicester went to university in Leicester, so I think that
You
must
mean
make
the
you all
mighty,
pretty
mighty
posh
de Montfort
people.
Hall?
I went to university.
De
of Leicester.
Montfort.
I didn't go to that one. I went to the other one,
Ah,
the proper one, the real one. You know, the one with the word Leicester in it.
presumably yes, Leicester University,
Yeah, I went
possibly.
there for about a day. It was a good day. Had a sandwich, cheese and ham, if I remember rightly.
Then you died.
Very nice. And then I died. Yes, that's how that
Yes.
story ends.
Yep.
That's clearly bored with that.
But you
story.
actually studied a proper thing, unlike me, where I studied classics.
You studied classic. Was that like Pong, Frogger, all that sort of thing?
Slightly
Mine-
older than that, couple of millennia.
Yeah. My mum has a classics degree as well.
Oh, beautiful.
We'll get her on next week.
Yeah, you can have the whole thing in Latin.
Oh shit. That would. Oh shit.
Don't talk about like Roman like political structures and
Yeah.
What was her, do you know what her specialisation was, by any chance?
I'm afraid I do not. She barely remembers most of it. I keep probing her for it, and like the best I got out of her was when we read Harry Potter. She occasionally knew what the spells would be before we read the effects. That was as close as we
That's
got.
all
to
I know. That's
useful
what I was thinking.
information
If you
out
start
of her.
talking Latin, I'll be here going, yeah, well, Vada Kedavra to you too. That's all I would know.
Absolutely.
That's all I'd be able to bring up.
Yeah. Like, we managed to work out that Horcrux is a very evil thing,
Yep, pretty much.
Good.
which was, gave us loads of clues into what that was.
Super evil, magic, evil, death bit. That sounds like something in a Marvel movie nowadays. That's the level of like they've got like evil, murder, stab machine, universe destroyer times 10 to the power of KOKN.
Yeah, well...
I don't like Marvel movies for a while. Actually, film critic Hulk. If you don't know who that is, it's the Hulk, but he's a film critic. Did a very good write-up on
I want to
Captain
establish
America
this.
Civil War.
It's not Hulk that he's a film critic. It's a normal film critic that just writes in capital letters.
Yeah, but he writes like he's the Hulk.
No, he doesn't though. In his reviews, he just writes like a normal person, but in capital
No,
letters.
he
and
does
occasionally
sort
No, he
says, "I am
refers
the
to
Hulk."
himself in the third
He
person.
does throw himself in the third person
That's
as
it
Hulk.
though. That's it though. That's all.
And the
that's
capital
only thing.
letters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's
he's
the
very
Hulk.
eloquent in how he's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really weird. I wonder who. I think
Well,
he's
so's
actually,
Bruce Banner.
I get the feeling he is someone who's quite deep in the film industry, not just a critic, but actually a writer and stuff. Interesting, but he did a really good write-up of
maybe it's Joss
Civil
Whedon.
War. I said really good writer.
Oh.
Did he write anything about the new X-Men movie?
I don't know. He takes about 6 weeks to write because he has to hold down Shift key while writing it, so it takes longer.
Fair enough.
I mean, he's got two big fingers. He can't press the caps.
Yeah, he has these like massive keyboards, like holy smash.
Keeps breaking caps lock buttons.
Yeah.
There's this really weird thing in the new X-Men movie where this isn't a spoiler, but there are there's a scene which lasts all of 3 seconds, which is just the worst CGI mixed in with really good CGI.
It does that a lot.
Like, and you're there going, and this scene is on a dock doing nothing. You're like, you could cut that out. Why the hell is that still in your movie?
Why is Sophie Turner in that movie? That's the main question I have.
Why are people still seeing X-Men movies? That's the question I have.
They used to be good. Once upon a time, they were good, and people sometimes remember that and then forget the bad ones.
Yeah, I mean, I had more fun in it than I did during the new Civil War, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
I didn't really...
The plot made a lot less sense.
Actually, now I want to actually do another chart of quality of X-Men film versus proportion of X-Men film in which Hugh Jackman is on screen and see if there's any correlation
Hugh Jackman
there.
was in this for maybe about, I don't know.
Exactly,
Too long.
because some of
Too
them, that he's been
long.
because if he's the star of them, they tend to be pretty shit. Like everyone hated Origins and stuff. Yet he's almost in none of the newer ones. They've gone down fairly well for the most part. So is there maybe a correlation?
I love the Wolverine. My favourite X-Men film is the Wolverine.
No, see, I think my favourite one would be... I actually really liked the not this one, but the Days of Future Past. But I did come home and rewrite the whole thing, so... there was so much potential there. I was just there going, if you just moved that speech halfway instead, and I wanted everyone to die passing the message on to... No, because everyone in the future ends up dying anyway, but I'd have done it sort of holding out so that when Professor X ends up talking to himself, so that, the important thing they're doing is passing a message on to someone else. So, the whole thing would be about the importance of an education, which is what X-Men's all about, and
That's a fair point.
dying to teach someone.
That's what X-Men's all about?
Would have
I
been
thought it was like stabbing people
It's about a
with blades.
school.
Is it?
It's about a school. I feel you could put basic curriculum as something interesting in there.
Someone in the chat said that X-Men movies are 10 times better than the lame Marvel trash movies. You realise X-Men is part of Marvel. you know.
But
it's not owned by it.
Yeah, I know. It's still
but
I know.
believe it or not, but Fox, 20th Century Fox, who own X-Men, have sold the Fantastic Four rights back to Marvel.
Really?
Oh, that's
good.
Well done.
For about £6 based on the latest Fantastic Four film.
It's almost it's legitimately almost like these other film companies who own these other Marvel properties are realizing, Marvel's doing really well with their characters. No movies are doing absolutely shit. Maybe we should just license them, just sell them back, and we make more money.
Yeah. Well, it's actually quite interesting, mostly because it means that the Marvel movies can have Galactus back. I don't know who actually wants the Fantastic Four, but
I don't like
Galactus and the Silver Surfer are included in that, which means that they have something to do after Thanos has gone.
I'm interested, you see, because I know the X-Men movies have been getting kind of worse and worse, I think, and I know they're eventually going to sell them back to Marvel. But I wonder what's going to happen with Deadpool.
No, because they've got the Deadpool license, and they did a very good job of that, and that made them loads of money.
I think that did better than a lot of the Marvel movies.
I thought it was like the highest grossing one, apart from like maybe the Avengers or something.
Deadpool.
Okay, so it's only true if you look at the American figures.
I only look at American
Once you put in worldwide figures,
biggest R-rated
it didn't
one
do
ever.
as well.
Biggest R-rated
because
film ever.
It's definitely the biggest R-rated film ever, yeah.
It
But
was
that's
probably
one
the
of the
most
reasons why it
marketed
struggles.
R-rated film ever too. There was a hell of a lot of marketing dollars behind that thing.
I've still not seen it.
I mean, that's true, but it also helped that it was pretty good.
Can I make a point as well? The reason we're not talking about games yet is because there's no fucking gaming news. So
There's some gaming news.
Well, it is a bit. I mean, we're coming up to E3, so all the gaming news is like, right, well, we're done. We're all going to keep this back a few days, so they can all put it in that big blob so it all gets drowned out in noise.
it's not great, really,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, as a final, to wrap up stupid film news, I think we've now seen possibly the worst attempt to copy the Avengers formula. Hasbro is creating a cinematic
This
universe.
sounds amazing.
They want
Wait, hang on. Did you say Hasbro or Haribo?
Hasbro?
I'm less interested.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
It's
legitimately,
the
could you imagine just a whole movie of just like the adults in those Haribo adverts? Just
Oh my god, the ones with the kids' voices. They are the worst
but just a whole
thing.
movie of that.
Oh, those are creepy.
A whole movie of that.
What does Hasbro even own at the moment? I'm just quickly having to check
Transformers,
this.
I would assume.
So it's Transformers, but they're not including Transformers. They're including Micronauts, ROM, Mask. That's Mask, the old 80s TV show where they wore different
they're not including
sort of helmets that did
Battleships
things.
are very important.
Visionaries and G.I. Joe.
So
surely they're including
their
My
movie.
Little Pony because that's one of the only things they've got that's actually saleable.
I don't think G.I. Joe really melds very well with My Little Pony.
So the Transformer comics right now are wonderful. It's just a pity about their films.
Yeah, but that's Michael Bay, and he's doing his thing.
Nerf films? Nerf gun films?
Nerf, I'd totally be down for a Nerf film.
Yeah.
I mean, I want Tom
Let's get
Scott
Freddie
to
Wong
make
on
it,
that.
although
Fuck, I'll message Freddie Wong and ask him to make a Nerf film, like a full feature-length Nerf.
Yeah, I like how we both immediately went to YouTube. It's like, no, we'll get that to actually better hands than Hollywood directors.
Yeah.
I think there's people there. So is that the movie news now that Hasbro are doing a thing?
Reasonably.
Probably.
There's a Lego Batman movie. I want a Lego. We're getting a Lego cinematic universe now. That's good.
When's the Lego Batman movie coming out?
Sometime later this year.
Not for a bit, is it?
And Lego, or it's either later this year or later the next one. I can't remember now.
Now,
I thought it was 2017,
Oh, it's
but
2017. Yeah. So then the actual Lego movie's coming out 2018 then.
Now, we've had a lot of requests on Twitter and from the chat to talk about this very important piece of news. Not to call someone a cunt. Now, I personally find this incredibly offensive.
Uh-huh.
I
Who
would
did
never.
he actually call? Who did
You
he
find
actually?
Never.
Just I missed this.
Never.
I really care for Notch.
Who was the target?
I don't know. I don't care. Notch block. I can't check. Notch blocked me on Twitter. I can't look at his
Yeah, Notch is...
Probably because you called him a C word.
No. I said Minecraft was a badly optimized piece of shit, and he blocked me for it.
I remember when there was that big hoo-ha about YouTubers saying, there's some game developers were like, actually, YouTubers should give us 90% of their money because without us, they'd be nothing, blah, blah, blah. And Notch was like, yeah, I totally agree. I'm like, dude, without YouTube, your game would have done fuck all. Minecraft would have been a well-selling game, but it wouldn't have been the reason you sold your company for, like, many, many billions of dollars. Like, that was YouTube. That was word of mouth. And YouTube, like, especially, like, the Oxcast and people like that, they exploded your game. And he was like, well, actually, that's still a bad thing. I'm like, all right, bye now.
Yeah. I don't know where he said. I don't. Is this it? I found it like someone said, and you're a dick. Notch is a dick, and they replied, and you're a cunt. Is that it? That was from 2-3 days ago. I assume that's it.
I don't know. Or care. I mean, the problem is, right, here's my issue with Notch, right? Is Notch is done. Like, Notch did his thing, and now he lives in his mansion with his wherever, and he's got, like, the most expensive house in LA or whatever, the flamethrower or some shit. I don't give a shit. But, like, he's done now. He's not creating anything, so I've stopped caring. I'm like, oh, Notch, the thing. What is it? Is it make a game? No. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? I like when people who make games make games.
I wonder what Phil Fish is doing at the moment.
Don't.
I don't know.
Let's get Phil Fish on as a special guest and ask him what he's been doing to fill his days recently.
I'm just looking.
Maybe he drinks heavily.
Oh, he probably just.
And
probably
cries.
Saunters around, doesn't he?
I hope, right, for Phil Fish, I hope he's genuinely working on something and just not telling anyone about it. And then he just
That would be
releases it
that,
and it's
like
good.
Peter Molyneux. That would be the best place for him.
Okay, I will
a
point
special
out,
underground facility.
Last time Peter Molyneux did that, it was Goddess Wars, and it was an absolute flaming pile of shit. So,
good point. Maybe it's too late for Peter
I
Molyneux.
think Peter Molyneux is stuck in his ways of being Peter Molyneux at this point.
Oh, they've got a horrid new Goddess game out, which is just like the war bit. It's the same. Okay.
Thingy.
I'm just reading these tweets here. Apparently, someone said that it turns out money can't buy your happiness, or it's not when you're self-pitying and oppressed as Notch. And it's a picture of Notch saying, "Stop # cunt fussing the issue." Hashtag cunt fussing.
Are we okay?
That just sounds like a spelling autocorrect program has gone rogue.
they were talking about mansplaining.
Like that AI that was on Twitch, the Microsoft AI, and everybody just taught it racist words and it was right and all that sort of thing. That feels like Notch's Twitter account is just that. He's probably sold it to Microsoft.
Oh. No, it's my favourite thing that, like, so I don't care about his tweets, they're not interesting at all, because who gives a shit? Like, why would, he said cunt, big, but I love the responses, like, Notch is a dick, and he called him a cunt, and then someone replied, wow, disappointed in your response, especially when no one was having a combo with you to begin with, even though he replied to someone who replied to him.
Are you just trying to suck up to Notch right now so he stops blocking you?
No, he's a dickhead, I hate him. But the end of this tweet is my favourite thing. No more Minecraft for my daughter. No more Minecraft for my daughter.
Oh. sure.
Well, that's always been a debate, is whether or not the things that you buy, you should care about where the money goes.
That's an important debate to have.
Oh, people are bothered by the word cunt because it's misogynistic, apparently. Oh, it's this again. Oh.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Oh, Dan, I remember this. Were you when you called someone a bitch? Oh.
Yeah, but that was fucking hilarious.
Oh, that was terrible. I had to spend so much effort cleaning that.
Well, I quite like to... Actually, I want to get back to What's Point in a second of the... is it okay to buy things from shitty people? But, no, I really enjoyed pissing off atheists on Twitter yesterday. So much fun. Like, because Richard Dawkins and the thing of, like, religion should be offended at every opportunity, right? And loads of atheists were like, yeah, we're going to... And I was like, this will be hilarious. So I just started offending atheism. And my mentions was fucking bile and anger. And I'm like, all right, well, look, I bookended it with the exact same quote. So I did that Dawkins quote and then the other quote. And it was fun. No, about 6 people got it. I do like that for the people who seem to think they're the smartest, atheists can be a bunch of fucking morons sometimes.
Oh, God, no.
I think atheism extremism is a big problem.
Yes.
Oh.
I know. The amount of atheist terrorists that are there in the world.
It's not necessarily the terrorists, it's
Although
just
they are
people
there.
who take things too far.
I will point out, can I
And,
just point something out? That during this rant, I did declare that because atheism is a religion, that's the point I was trying to make, which is that's their fucking button that I like to press. That because it's a religion, no atheists pay tax. But I actually genuinely argued that no atheists pay tax, and like no one picked up on that and just kept going. I was like, all right, okay, so this is how the internet works. It was fun.
Yeah.
While we're offending everyone,
Yeah, carry on.
according to Twitter, Captain America might be gay or might be a Nazi.
Well, no, he is a Nazi, but he might be gay.
Matt, would you like to set up a straw poll for everyone to vote on? If Captain America was either gay or a Nazi, which would you like him to be?
I'd
Vote
like him to
now.
be gay
Matt's going to put a
because
straw poll
then
into the
we
Twitch
actually
chat
have-
for you.
We could actually have an interesting element to his character because at the moment he's the good guy, and that's as far as he goes.
Hang on.
Hang on. I did watch the
Actually,
the
also
Civil
have gay and
War,
Nazi have
the
an
plot
option.
of that did seem to be that Captain America doesn't like taking orders from people and likes to be an evil dictator.
Yeah, he's a bit Hitlerian thingy, isn't it? It's like
He is very Hitler in that film.
Yeah.
Okay, to the Twitch chat, vote with !Nazi or !gay.
Also, make
All one
!gay Nazi an option. That should be an option too, for people who wanted to be gay and Nazi.
Oh, you could have
Just
asked
put
before I
nay,
made the
nay.
poll.
Just string them both together. Nay.
Okay, let me make the poll. Fucking hell. Oh, fuck's sake. Fuck it, I'll make a straw poll.
Yay, straw poll.
I like how our Twitch chat is now filled with vote Nazi. Like, this feels like a UKIP stream right now. That's what's going on here.
That's basically the only. That's all I wanted. I just wanted the chat to be just vote Nazi and vote gay over and over.
Next week, special guest Nigel Farage. It's gonna be such fun.
Oh, we should totally get him on.
He's too busy
Okay.
being racist. Anyway, yeah, no, I
He's
see.
too busy being racist.
Normally, I see these things and I'm like, oh, you just what is your point? What are you talking about? But this time I'm like, you know what? I really would kind of like Captain America to have like just something. Something, because like Marvel is currently playing it so back on fucking film news. Marvel is just playing it so bloody safe with these characters. They have to be best friends and hugs and lovely people by the end of each film.
Also, which Captain America is this? Is this the Falcon who's now Captain America, or the original Captain America?
I'll explain because I read up on this bit. It's the main canon Captain America. It turns out he's been a Hydra spy all along. And the confirmed it's actually Steve Rogers. Now, what really bothers me about this is in worldwide trends, the third top trending thing is say no to Hydra Cap. And yesterday, it was give Captain America a boyfriend. And these two really bother me because it implies Captain America really matters that much.
Oh, he does. He does. Yeah, currently one of the highest grossing films out at the moment.
What? No, I know that, but Captain America's a character.
Is he?
He's
Or
boring,
is
isn't he?
In our heart. He's got nothing.
In fairness, Jesus was a pretty boring character, and he's done rather well for himself as a franchise.
This is what's really funny to me, though, because people are so pissed off about Captain America being Hydra and annoyed that he isn't gay. When, like, Superman, who is a literal Jesus figure, like, he's literally like a freedom American Jesus, has been, like, all the evil ever.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that Jesus had a bit of a dark side. And
no, yeah, but there's been comics where Superman.
No, you're thinking of Tim Minchin.
I can have a dark side. No,
right,
I know they look similar.
You know what's really annoying is that now I'm thinking about it. I think Jesus is actually characterized better than Captain America. Because Captain America is the good guy and he does the good thing and he has friendship and hugs and but Jesus was like, I'm going to hang out with these whores and flip tables over. Woo, party Jesus! Much more interesting character.
I mean, someone...
and at least he didn't sell out. Like, you know, when they were selling action figures and stuff, he really sort of gave them a bit of his mind.
Yep.
Whereas Captain America, more than happy to sell. I suppose that is the American way.
He should be called Capitalism America! Yay!
Yay!
I like my favourite thing was, what was it, in Avengers, where he's about to jump out and I can't remember what he says, but he goes, no ma'am, there's only one God, and he jumps up the plane. He's only one God, and I can't remember what it was.
He doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
responding to Thor being a god.
Yeah, that was it. And like that, he's just, and people are saying in the chat, oh, Nazi Captain would be terrible. At least to be fucking interesting.
It'd be something.
Give him some fucking character.
Yeah, anything.
I mean, it's amazing with comics that like DC for the longest time have the whole adage of just doing a billion different interpretations of the same character.
Yeah.
And it works well, because, you know, Batman, you've seen him in a billion different ways, it's interesting, and you get people like one Batman and don't like others. And Marvel hasn't really had that. And this isn't a separate universe, Captain America, but it's very easy for them to just go along and go, no, he was a replacement, or he was a synth, or whatever, you know. Like
Hang on. But, like, Marvel does have other parallel universes, just as much as DC does.
Not as much as DC.
But the characters don't really
DC calls their universes 1 and 2, and Marvel calls their one 616.
No, but
surely that must mean they have got at least 615
I think they got rid of them,
other
though.
universes.
I think they've all exploded apart from 616 and Ultimates, and even them exploded into each other.
Oh my god, this
You
whole
are
conversation
correct.
is why I hate comic books.
This whole conversation is why I hate comic books too.
Wait! Stop!
Do I have to...
Overwatch is out. Has anyone played it?
I actually have a note. On my notes, I've just got the word Overwatch. And I just wanted to mention that it was there.
No,
right, carry on.
Okay, I actually did play the beta. I was going to mention them because for their advertising campaign, they had giant sort of 15-foot action figures they put around the place.
I thought they were just like full-size, people-sized ones.
I do not care about the game, but I've
Ghibli.
seen the little kind of animated Pixar-style short films they've made, and those are so gorgeous. If they released like a full-length Overwatch film into cinemas tomorrow, I'd go and watch it. Especially if it stars Winston and Tracer, because I would totally go and watch a film starring Winston and Tracer.
I totally agree with that.
I love Tracer and Winston.
If we all hope really hard, Warcraft will be a 10-minute movie with a sort of hour-and-a-half pre-movie for Overwatch.
Chat just saying breasts and boobs and breasts.
Movies and breasts.
Twitch chat brought to us today by HBO.
Oh, can I just
I did actually play Overwatch and enjoy it, which, considering I hate first-person shooters,
it is getting all the ridiculously good reviews in the world.
I mean,
its review scores
so
are
did
insane.
Uncharted 4, and that can go take a short walk off along here.
No,
Wait,
about Overwatch, right? Overwatch was a game that, because I get the press codes.
Okay, it's literally been out like 5 minutes. It was a game.
I get the press codes, and Overwatch was a game. I get press codes for basically everything, and Overwatch is a game where I went, you know what? Nah.
Yep. I wouldn't bother with it.
Nah. Well, that's it.
It's not my thing, but it's beautiful. The characters are beautifully designed, and I would love to know more about the universe, even though I never want to play the game. Same for the way I feel about Five Nights at Freddy's. I never want to play the game, but I'm kind of interested in the lore of the universe.
I've had 5 Nights in Freddy's.
All right.
I can understand that.
But yeah, it's. I mean, I think what is it? Game theory does a lot of things on Five Nights at Freddy's, just the universe of it. It can be quite interesting, I suppose. But no, Overwatch, I think it bothered me as well because I saw a lot of press got these big metal boxes.
Yeah.
Big metal loot boxes.
Huge
beautiful.
ones, filled with shit.
Like, yeah, I mean, we thought the fucking Dark Souls one was bad. These big.
That sold for a shite ton of money.
Yeah, these big sculpted metal boxes, and inside there's like Coke with your name on. There's like
Fuck,
t-shirts.
drugs! They're sending drugs!
They are sending drugs, yeah. Full drugs. Game-enhancing drugs.
Wow.
Okay, I don't know about that. I just played the beta and thought, as far as online shooters go, it was probably one of the best I played. But why would I want an online shooter when there are single-player games that I could be playing?
Speaking of, if we want to segue from
but
first-person
it was very
shooters,
nice as a team. It's very team-focused, which I like. There's no like sort of kill-death rates being kept track of, so it's trying to help support players. Which, as a support player who can't aim for toffee, I really appreciate.
Go play Rainbow Six Siege, God.
Yeah, use controller, it helps.
I was so excited
I do
for it,
use a
and then
controller.
it was just,
Yeah.
it just felt like a multiplayer shooter and everyone was better than me and I got bored.
Oh, no, right. I've played it a lot. It wasn't a game that I was that excited for, but I've played it a lot. I've really gotten into it, because when you're in a team with a few people, and you actually have proper tactics...
Oh yeah, totally, I would do that, but nobody had it when it came out, so I was like, oh well. And I forgot about it.
Like, one of my favourite things to do is they patched it a lot. Like, it's the first Ubisoft game they've ever, like, listened to feedback. They're still, like, rebalancing it, and they're still fixing little things here and there. And it's really nice. There's a lot of really cool tactics you can do. And really good support classes, or you can go in guns blazing and support. And I find it really enjoyable. I don't know why. I don't know. It's just it's kind of like the guns are satisfying in the complex. It's very weighty.
No, shit. You know, like, fuck this. You know what game was great? Fucking Doom. Played Doom.
Doom was really good.
I'm finally going
Doom
around
was
to playing
very
Doom,
fun.
and oh my god. Finally, someone has remembered what makes fun fucking first-person shooter.
Have you played Shadow Warrior? The new Shadow Warrior?
No.
You should play that, because that's similar.
Doom is 13 hours long. That is literally the next, like, 6 weeks of my life trying to play that.
No, legitimately. Go play Shadow Warrior 2 is coming out this year, I think, but go play Shadow Warrior. It came out. It was my favorite, best game of the year, like, 2014. It's beautiful, but it's like Doom, except with you also have a katana, and it's in Japan, and everything's really beautiful, and your guy keeps making dick jokes.
Yeah, that sounds like the worst thing in the world, because it's not Doom.
Really good.
I like Doom, right, literally, Doom starts, 5 seconds later, you have a gun and you're shooting things.
Yeah, but the fucking Shadow Warrior is like that as well. The thing is, these games, like Shadow Warrior, Doom, and Wolfenstein, these are all based on the old style of shooters, they're all these fast-paced. Wolfenstein, I think, is the weakest of all of them.
I think Wolfenstein's actually pretty good, but I think
I thought it was good, I just it's the weakest of all of them. Yeah. Like, I think Shadow Warrior and Doom were a lot better. But just, if you like Wolfenstein and you like Doom, so fucking play Shadow Warrior. Seriously, fuck me.
But
I have a huge fondness for the fact the second room in Doom, after you get to the gun and start shooting things in the first room, in the second room, someone tries to go kind of Bioshock Atlas on you and kind of be the talking voice in your ear saying, "Hi, I'm this bloke, and I'd like to give you instructions." And your character's like, "No, go away and shut up."
Yeah, he just
smashes the screen and then just walks off and refuses to follow orders or do
Jim Sterling
quests.
did a very good Jim position on this.
He's beautiful.
About how he's able to communicate so much just with his hand gestures.
Yep. Because he doesn't give
not saying anything.
I found out, because I'm getting further into it, so I now know who the Doom character is, or who he's heavily hinted to be, and it's literally the best backstory in the world. So you should seriously read all the shit that's in Doom, because oh my god, it makes so much sense. But yeah, when you when you clear out the first area, which is insane and fun and brilliant, when you clear the first area, you go to an elevator, and the guy's like, "All right, let's do the thing." The guy starts wittering, and he's like, "Oh, I'll fix this thing." He smashes the thing. It throws up the logo. It's like really, really great
really
fucking metal
Doom.
playing, proper metal.
Yeah, Doom.
And then it's like Doom, and then it goes back to the elevator. The elevator opens, and there's fucking Mars. And then the shotgun comes up, and he reloads it at the final beat of the song. And I just ejaculated everywhere. Just everywhere.
It's such good design, isn't it? It's just well designed.
It just instead of going, hey, a first-person shooter should be about trying to be an action film, it's gone, hey, a first-person shooter should be about shooting monsters in the fucking face. A lot. God damn, they do that so well.
Well, I'm happy that this is coming out, though, because hopefully it'll make sort of a lot of AAA game developers realize that a lot of players, like, because there's so much faff in a lot of games.
Oh, yeah.
Like, unnecessary fluff and filler, and that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this realize a lot of people just want to play the fucking game and it feel good.
Yeah. So, that's all I need. Oh, hang on, can I... See, the problem with me this week is that I've played 3 or 4 games I'm just not allowed to talk about. Just can't talk about them. And I'm trying to think, I was like, have I actually done that one yet? Is that one out? I can't fucking remember. So I was about to say, I played a game that was really good feeling but I can't fucking remember.
Embargoes, yeah. I mean, you could message it to me and I'd be able to tell you if that was embargo or not.
Talking of games that are full of faff but good anyway, Total War Warhammer was out yesterday. That's actually really good.
Nobody cares.
I've really struggled with the Total War series. I've tried to get into them many times, but I just find out anytime I play it, I just get enemy castle with as many like crappy enemies as possible, and then I just storm it with lots of enemies, and I laugh, and then I don't play again.
I just find a great joy in picking apart like big castles and big fortresses, like finding the perfect area to attack and basically like, you know, winning a fight and taking out 2,000 enemies without losing a single guy.
Do you remember there was a TV show based around that?
Yes, Time Commanders, which had Richard Hammond.
It did.
Richard Hammond.
Sorry,
yes.
Can I make a side note back to Doom briefly? Someone in the chat said that Doom has less demons because Doom Guy has canonically already killed 70% of Hell's population. Sorry, I had to read that out. Sorry, sure.
Yeah,
But
oh my god.
We didn't care about Richard Hammond. It was the guy who afterwards told you how it actually happened with the giant sticks that was the fun part.
Yeah.
My favourite one was where they had a team of vicars. They had a team of vicars being instructed by Richard Hammond into how to take Carthage by playing Rome Total War on a massive screen. And this was serious entertainment that was broadcast on BBC Two.
Because it was Rome Total War. It was Rome Total War was broadcast on BBC Two, but they had like sort of like table and shit for it, and there was like big screens. So basically they got people to actually act out these famous battles, and everyone was a different battle, and it taught you history through Rome Total War, and that was a BBC TV series.
Yep, and it needs to come the fuck back.
When was that? Like, oh my god, it's probably a decade old now, maybe even longer.
Well over a decade now.
Oh my god! It was a series or two. It was two series, wasn't it?
2 series, and they're all on YouTube.
Oh my god!
The entirety of it is on YouTube.
Oh my god! I'm gonna fucking Google this.
I have rewatched all of it. It's still really good.
Oh my god! Look! Someone just messaged me on Twitter. Remember Pocket Batman v Superman? Remember sort of like, you know.
Oh my god, it's really loud! Sorry.
Do you remember Pocket Batman v Superman that we were discussing a few weeks back?
Yes! Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Batmans.
Someone's making it, and they've sent me a video of the demo.
Oh my god.
I've just retweeted it.
Excellent.
Get you. That's actually going to be a thing. You've actually made a game. Well done. Hey, wait, shit! Right, as I said, there's a game with a really good feel, and I've actually put the video for it already. Heat Signature! Which is the next game from Tom Francis. I can fucking talk about that.
That was one that didn't even have an embargo.
How did you bastards get hold of that? I've been trying to get hold of that for ages.
I can get one for you. Just ask me.
Power of Matt. Matt has got this new power where you can get.
I generally don't ask you for keys because you don't work for me and I don't pay you.
John,
so I don't generally consider I can email you and say, "Hey, Matt, do shit for me."
It's a favour for a friend. It's fine, John. Don't worry.
Yes. What the fuck was I saying? Thing. When I said a thing and something.
Heat Signature, which it looks amazing.
Heat
I've been watching that
the next
for
game where
months.
Tom Francis who made Gunpoint, which is the Trousers, the Monk.
Oh, yes.
It is one of the most fun games I've played in quite a lot, because it feels so good. So you play as a small ship that never gets any weapons, never gets the upgrades, and the way you basically battle anything is you dock with it, go on board and hit everyone with baseball bats. But like, if you get set an alarm off, what will happen is the ship will panic and then head to the nearest base. So you constantly have these natural countdowns to things and these natural danger elements, as opposed to it being like, oh, you got to get out in 5 minutes or it'll explode. It's like, okay, you've got 23 seconds because that's how far the base away is, and we're going at this speed. So good luck. And you've got to take control of the ship or try and get the fuck off of it in that time. And you get thrown out of airlocks a lot, and you have to autopilot your ship to get to you. It's amazing.
See, I distinctly remember seeing about maybe. I think last year at EGX Res, I think it was last year.
It was at this Res too. I played it again at this Res.
But on last Res, he was there, and he was sat next to it on his laptop live coding it, and he had like maybe 300 different builds in the week of just getting feedback and him instantly changing it.
Yep.
And I think one of the things I did is when I was playing it, I was having a chat with him, and he just gave me the cheat button, and there was just a button that spawns a ship, just a random enemy ship near you. I think when I played it, it was a bit different. I think there's a lot more. When I played, there was a lot more emphasis on taking over a ship and using that and the weapons on that to take over other ships, as opposed to just being stealthy in your own ship.
Now it's very much stealthy.
Yeah, this new build seems to be a bit different. Although the ship, strangely, the ships seem a lot more blocky. They had a lot. I think the ships were a lot more dangerous. Maybe they get harder as you go along. But the build I played, the ships were just incredibly hard.
I will point out that this game is in like super ridiculously hyper early alpha, nowhere near release at all, not even slightly. So, yeah, you might get to play that in 2000 and question mark. And you'll enjoy it because I really fucking love it. I think it's coming along really well. That was a game that I've been playing a lot of. I now remember the other one that I've been playing. I can't even mention. I don't think it's been announced yet.
Here's a thing I suspect people want to talk about.
Uh-huh.
So, Oculus is kind of stuck in a bit of a war against people that want to open up its DRM.
Can I please tell the story? Can I please tell the story? Because I love it so very much.
Go for it.
Yes, go tell the story.
So, right, the Oculus Rift games will work on a HTC Vive, but HTC Vive games will not work in Oculus Rift because of the room scale. Because Vive has the controllers and you can walk around your room, the games are only compatible one way, because Oculus is more seated things for the moment. It only comes with an Xbox One controller.
It's a technical limitation.
It's a technical limitation. It's not going, you can't play the games on this because we're, Microsoft and Sony. It's, you can't play our games on nothing because you just can't. These games won't go over. But a lot of people have been buying games through the Oculus Store to play on their Rifts. On their Vives. Because that's a thing that you can absolutely possibly do using this little bit of software, and it's just a little bit of software that says, "Hey, you can read this thing." It's not a hack; it's not breaking anything.
Yep, this is called Revive. It's currently on version 0.5.2 for those who want to find it.
Numbers.
And it's because there are Oculus exclusive games.
There are Oculus exclusive games because they are doing. They're bought out by Facebook. They're doing exclusivity, so they're doing the bad kind of exclusivity, which is the console thing of you've got this one, it won't work on this other one.
In fairness, their exclusives are pretty weak.
Yeah,
I mean, comparatively, if you look at the ones you get with the HTC Vive, the ones you get the Lab, Job Simulator, Tilt Brush, and what else do you get? You get one other one, don't you?
Audio Shield?
No,
that's not free.
I can't remember the other one.
Hover Junkers, I think.
No,
I think you Hover Junkers.
Hover Junkers.
There's one I can't remember. Either way, those three alone, right?
Yeah.
Best games easily.
They're pretty fucking great games, and Oculus doesn't really have great.
Yeah, Oculus is like, ooh, Lucky's Tale. Ooh, what is it? It's a third-person platformer.
Yeah. But so let me finish the story off because it's important. So, Oculus updated their store to say that you can't play these games unless you have an Oculus Rift actually plugged into your computer. They put DRM onto their store, onto their software. So they basically added DRM to try and stop people who are legally and absolutely finely buying these games and playing them on the Vive. They want people to stop that because they want people to buy the hardware, not the software for some reason. That was the kind of the dick move.
But as of the most recent Revive, they've got round it for now.
Yes.
They are now stuck in a war against the Revive people.
Here's the thing that went wrong. The way they Revive broke the DRM is that it broke the DRM so...
Sorry, can I just... The audio, cut out for a good, 10 seconds there, and Dan was just going... Yip, yip, yip.
Good.
Really?
Good. Well, on the VOD, none of that will matter.
Sorry, God.
Well done, Matt.
It's really weird.
Well done. How's your new super fast internet?
That's not the internet's fault. That was my Mac's. That was my.
Oh, it was the Mac's fault. Well,
that was a Mac.
I haven't got the audio set up quite right, so it's still having a bit of trouble.
Easy target to blame there. Wait, what the fuck was I saying? You interrupted my awesome story because there's the best. Oh yeah, the best bit. So the best bit is now that the Revive has changed you to more of a hack to try and get round this Oculus DRM they forced. You can actually use it to pirate games. Before you had to buy the games legitimately, but now Revive is more of a hack. So you can actually use it to pirate you can play pirated Oculus games with it. So before, people with Vives could actually pay for Oculus games and make it work, and now they can actually just pirate them. So Oculus in going, actually we don't want the DRM, we want to add DRM so people with Vives can't play it, have actually just lost sales and increased piracy on their thing. For people that weren't going to buy it, because nobody's going to buy 2 of these fucking headsets.
That's pretty much like the story from history, though. Like, the harder a company tries to enforce aggressive DRM that's not consumer-friendly, the more piracy happens to get around it.
I was saying this before on Twitter about how Oculus have responded to sort of the Vive. Because Oculus, when they came out, they weren't expecting competition, and the Vive just turned up and blew it out the fucking water, and they panicked. Mm-hmm. And obviously, it wasn't designed for touch controls, it wasn't designed for room scale. They're rushing touch controls to fucking compete. Yep. But as opposed to... relying on the strength of their system.
In fairness, because the Vive is based on Steam software, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Steam pretty much invited the Oculus guys round and said, "Hey, have a look at all of our tech. Take anything that you want."
Yes.
And then they didn't, and someone else did.
You can actually...
Isn't that roughly what happened?
In the lab, you can actually visit the room where they initially tested the dev kit.
How?
Ah, do you not know the secrets?
No, I do not know the secrets.
You know the postcards? There's postcards on the one, you plug the little thingy in to change which one you're going to.
Is the one round the back?
No, on the left-hand side, there's a valve. If you plug it into the valve, you get to go to a secret valve level, which is the room where they originally testing out. So it's like got loads of QR codes on the walls and silly stuff. But also, I want to point out, in that room, there is their original prototype headset on the floor, and you can put it on, and it will take you somewhere else.
Hang on. I'm going to do that after the podcast. Right, no, I remember I think I was loading up the lab once and I got really freaked out because you know the Valve intro, the classic, that always freaked me out. That's always freaked me out.
Which one? Hang on, the Valve intro with just the bloke,
Yeah.
But what freaked me out was when they fucking updated it and he turned around. I shat my shit the first time that happened.
But no, it never happened to the Vive. And then one of the times I loaded the lab up, it has a VR version of that.
Yeah, I love that so much.
And it's got valves you can turn, and it freaked me the fuck out. Just thought there was a guy was gonna fucking turn around me in VR and shit myself. Anyway, no, right.
I like that. No, seriously, that's great because Rebecca always takes the Vive off when that bit loads up as well because she can't deal with it. It's like it's literally their company logo, and it's too terrifying for people.
That's not even terrifying. It's just. It's this.
It's quite a little crap room filled with really like these huge Valve things.
Like it's the kind of horror I like, as opposed because I don't like jump scares, but I like the feeling of uneasiness.
I love it. I want to live in that room.
Oh, you weirdo. No, but all right. So Oculus came out, and they weren't expecting the competition of Vive came out, and rather than deal with their strengths that the Oculus has, and the Oculus is very good for entertainment. They have a very good entertainment backend. They have a lot of good communications with the Gear VR. You know, they've got this good entertainment system. And they've got a lot of developers on board, and, you know, they could have made some good content for it, focused on the console, focused on the sort of more casual aspect of City Downs. But instead of doing that, instead of focusing on their strengths and trying to sell it based on their strengths, they've went, no. Okay, we have to get out before the Vive. Or can we get out before the Vive? Yep. No, we can't. Okay, let's sell them anyway. So looks like we're out before the Vive, even if we can't fulfill the pre-orders. Okay, right. Let's do touch controllers. Well, it was never designed for touch controllers. Let's do them anyway. Let's make them like, no, okay, right, sure. Ooh, people are playing our games on the Vive. No, we can't have that. No, we want to play in our system.
Facebook have taken it over. Facebook are just running the show. They've gone,
I was going to say,
business.
No.
I backed the original dev kit when it was on Kickstarter, so I've watched a lot of Palmer prattling on about VR. And I think he'd be more than happy to be doing Vive-type stuff. Like, he has, in the history, attached himself to electrode so he can play with his inner ear to give more realistic falling feeling. So he's a person who's pretty happy to do it. I'm fairly confident this is all Facebook.
That is how the synth program started right there.
Legitimately, right.
That is the first synth.
No, legitimately, a lot of people have said Facebook, but as far as I know, and as far as a lot of people know, Facebook, when they acquire like a company like this, they're very hands-off, apparently.
Yeah.
Usually. So I think it's more just whoever they've got on their marketing, like whoever's controlling their marketing, whoever's on their board, or whatever, like, there is someone, I don't think it's Facebook, but I just think, because even though there's a couple of really creative guys in there, that doesn't mean the rest of the company have that outlook and
It's a weird thing because Oculus, the actual Rift itself, has a better screen, less of a screen door effect. A lot of people say it's a lot better looking than the Vive.
Yeah, it's got the same resolution, but
but they've got a nicer sort of the way they do it is
better
nicer.
field of view.
But anybody who's got both, all the reviews and stuff, will sit with the Vive and play with the Vive because the Vive is the more gamey, that movement adds so much to it. And it's one of the first times ever where graphics and like quality isn't actually selling this thing. It is the ability, it's that walk around ability, it's the actual gameplay. It's the actual way of doing things.
Honestly, to me, even not walking around, but just being able to interact directly with the controllers.
Yeah.
The controllers, to me, like...
because I've now played proper games. I played Project Cars and stuff, and I've played like other proper games in VR, and they're good fun. And it feels fantastic, and it's a great way of playing games. But a room scale game is just something completely and absolutely different. And
John?
it's so ridiculously intense.
John?
It's wonderful.
Yes.
There's a heat signature key.
Oh, look at him. Look at this.
Oh.
Back end of it. We want a video. I don't want to be mentioned in it by name.
I'll buy you 2 desserts next time we have dinner, Matt.
Apparently Tom's never seen someone take a live guard back to the station.
That was amazing. Yeah, a guard got trapped on my ship with me, so I took him back to the station. I had to hunt him down on this friendly space station.
You didn't know it was possible.
Oh yeah, I like that game a lot.
By the way, we've had enough time by now. We've had enough time by now. Matt, could you tell us the answer? Captain America, gay, Nazi, or gay Nazi?
Gay Nazi is one with 44% of the vote.
Hey!
Gay Nazi won with 44%.
I'd watch that film.
Hashtag Steve Rogers gay Nazi.
Hey, John!
Yes.
Have you played Homefront the Revolution yet?
No, I haven't, because it's got... for multiple reasons. One, it's got really, really terrible reviews, even from outlets that just give out high review scores like candy.
Yes, it does.
2, I did request review code and they didn't bother getting back to me, so whatever. And 3, I'm not... I couldn't find out immediately how far into the game the Time Splitters 2 levels are. Because if they're too far in the game, I'm not sure I can be asked. And at this point, given how bad Homefront 2 is, it kind of feels like that game is holding Time Splitters 2 hostage.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just check? Is this the one which is about North Korea being a superpower?
Yes.
Yes, it was supposed to be China, but they cowered it out at the last minute and didn't want to say that, so it became North Korea. Same as the remake of Red Dawn.
It feels silly because I just have no belief of North Korea being able to do it. At least if it was China, I could...
Yeah,
China
when it was the original Homefront, I actually looked up the numbers for this, and I compared. There are less people in the whole of North Korea, even including like infants and elderly infirm, than there are households in the US that have more than one gun. So I find it very hard to believe North Korea will be able to successfully occupy and hold the US on that basis.
They couldn't.
Because according to the game, they've got a magic EMP satellite, but even excluding the EMP satellite, guns still work, and America's still got a lot of them.
Yep,
it's true.
But Dan, what was
also, apparently, where did they get their wonderful technology that they sold to the America?
They stole it from Japan, which they invaded. That's the law reason that North Korea invaded Japan, got all the technology, and used that to take over America.
with their very strong technological and military background, was defeated by North Korea with a couple of like fucking broken guns. Dan, what was your fucking butt? I'm excited now.
Nobody cares because we just want to know how good the Time Splitters version is.
I have seen footage of it, and it looks super smooth and crystally smooth and lovely.
So what I'm hoping, because that is Time Splitters on PC. For the first time ever. So I am genuinely going to play a bit of Homefront Revolution just so I can find and play Time Splitters on the PC.
I will too when I get around to it. But you know, the hilarious thing about Homefront Revolution is when you finish the game, I've seen the screen cap of this. This is definitely true.
It has an apology.
When you finish the game, there is a message from the developers apologising for what a shit job they did during the development.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing slightly, but it's a polite way. Basically, it's a polite note saying that. It's more kind of a note about how there's been a troubled development. Yeah. But basically, it's them apologising for what a shit job. In the same way that North Korea is currently
a troubled country.
Yes.
Okay. I have a side note here, because John, you mentioned that they didn't fulfill your key request.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as I mentioned before,
do you just have keys for every game in the world just sitting there next to you?
I don't have.
He's the key master.
I am the key master. You know what? I'd be perfectly fine with being. Oh God, I forgot his fucking name.
James.
Fucking Spaceballs and Ghostbusters and fucking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Steve Irwin.
No, not Steve.
Bill Murray.
Ruby Wax.
Oh.
No.
No Lemons.
Melissa What's Her Face.
I'd be fine with
Vanessa
being Rick
Phelps.
Moranis. I hate you.
Did we already say Noel Edmonds?
We already said Noel Edmonds.
Yeah.
Okay, no, well, okay. So, okay, I've never, not once when doing this job, ever had a key request denied for Nerd3, right? Because it's a big channel and it's.
Yeah, darling.
You know, yeah. So, but I got. I'm not gonna say what game it is, but I got.
I'll say what game it is.
Oh, will you?
I don't know. Is that a thing we can say?
Well, if there's no harm in it, I don't think. But they're not going to give us one anyway. But I asked for a key request, and they responded with the best denial. I've never got a denial, but this was the
of the one I have had, this was the best.
I mean, this is the worst. I mean, God, dear Matt, thanks for the offer, but we do not need your services at the moment.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Do you want to say who it is, Dan?
I will not say that it is Aerofly FS2. I'm not going to say that. I didn't say that. I mean, seriously, I've given them 2.2 fucking million views on their game.
I know.
It's like one of my most popular videos ever because it's one where I suck a load of air in and nearly die. And I was like, oh,
that's why it's so surprising, because it's not even
I'm
just
guessing
a
they
random
just don't do
game.
queues. They're a very they're like a tiny little Swiss company that makes it, don't they?
They are. Related note, on the same day, I got a key request fulfilled for a flight simulator made by the train simulator people. Apparently, it's just Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I don't know. Either way.
Is that the one that was at Resd recently? The one that's Dovetail or something?
Yeah, Dovetail.
Oh, that looked more than a little bit ropey at EGX Res. The frame rate, even on the little show machine they brought, was shit.
Apparently it's
terrible. It was tanking like crazy. Not as bad as Subnautica on Xbox One, which remains possibly the worst frame rate tank I've ever seen.
Someone currently playing through Sonic 06. You can all go fuck yourselves.
Okay, fine. Second worst, but seriously, Subnautica on Xbox One looked horrendously bad.
I have to handbrake every episode. I have to actually remake.
Wow.
I literally need every single second of that footage is so out of sync with itself. Like, because I need a constant frame rate, and consoles tend to have a constant frame rate, so that's nice. Premiere Pro can read it, but these don't. So every hour of footage has had to go through handbrake, which takes forever to try and make it
I
work.
particularly like the bit where you take damage and the character goes completely invisible for a minute.
Because it is, right. It's a 1080p 60 FPS game. That's when you're standing still and looking at the floor. But if anything else is happening, it tanks. Like, there are moments in the final thing, and I've worked out, because it smooths between frames, so it just looks like it's going in like really slow motion, so it's not stuttery. It does like a nice, really smooth motion to try and keep it at 60 FPS.
Don't call it nice.
It's not nice. It's horrific. But I worked out that it's actually only working at about 4 or 5 frames per second if there's more than like 6 enemies on the screen at once.
Is this on PC, by the way?
PS3 version I'm playing.
This is the PS3 version
I'd
you're
like
playing.
to point out, I'm done with it now. I recorded from episode 21 to 35 all yesterday. 8 hours of footage there in one go. I, spoiler warning, commit suicide near the end, so don't quite see the ending. But it's fine. I don't really want to talk about that game because my therapist said I really shouldn't. But it is remarkably awful. I think it's the nicest thing I've ever said about that game. I have literally no idea why it was released ever. Like that is just clearly suicide.
It's got a good soundtrack.
No, it doesn't. It has a song.
I'll try listening to it over like fucking 10 hours.
That is I Am the Doctor by... that's Matt Smith's I Am the Doctor.
No, it's the Sonic 060, which I Am the Doctor clearly stole from Sonic.
It's literally the same one of that.
Stephen Moffat, the Sonic thief.
Someone's commented on the fact there's another 19 episodes.
There's what? Yeah, there's another 19 episodes of this piece of shit that you have to deal with.
I don't know if I feel more bad for you or the people watching.
I did 15 in a day. You can all go suck a fat whatever. I want to also point out something that I just want to talk about in this podcast because I just need to go on the record again. Play Magazine gave this game an 85 out of 100.
What?
Wow.
It says this is on Metacritic. It says in brackets, score revised in January issue due to long load times.
Yes, that's the problem.
That was the only problem they had.
In my video, I had many takes at doing this joke because the videos are edited, even though you don't realise it. One of the ways I said that was the equivalent of complaining about the food in a Japanese in an internment camp in the war. It's not something you do. It's
Game Informer gave it 68.
Yeah. This is not
even that's sort of 67 too many points.
Games Master UK gave it 76.
To some publications, though, about 50% is the lowest feasible mark they will ever give out. Hence why Homefront 2 has got 5 at IGN.
Yeah, it's literally the lowest they do. It's literally only one place gave it a 0 out of 10, and that is the only score that I consider valuable. viable.
Gaming age.
Gaming age, who the fuck they are, because they are just the only ones who got it.
I clicked the link to the review and the page doesn't exist.
Yeah, they probably were killed by Sega. But yeah, that was... Seriously, how could you play that and give it an 85? Because it literally, there's a fucking forced fucking stealth section, right? You walk up to this train thing, right? You have to go through this door, and behind the door you can see, it's not even a fucking door, it's an open sort of like archway, and there's 2 guards standing in front of it you can't go past. There's a fucking, in the back, there's just this fucking mirror thing, and you step on the mirror and that takes you to the level. You have to just go there, because you're literally saving the world, and they go, oh no, you can't go in here. But you're Sonic the Hedgehog, who can go, like, you could be a blue fucking blood. Actually, you're Silver at this point, who's still fucking, you actually have a move that's, like, faster than light teleport thing. So you can just, like, teleport fucking around them or some shit. But you're trying to save the world, but you're like, oh, well, no, that's a bad thing. I have to wait for that. So what you have to do is you have to wait for them to go on, like, they're like, oh, in a minute they'll go off patrol. What that involves is the entire area outside the train station, loads of blue barrels get placed everywhere, and then the guards just, like, sort around them and you have to sneak past. Without knowing how far they can see, how well they can see, which way they're looking, because the minimap is just red dots, so you have no idea how this is going to go. And then I found out that they can just see you through the blue barrels anyway. They're not even cover. And then they start just walking through the blue barrels. Like, somebody literally walks through a blue barrel in front. I'm like, ah! And then he just gets the thing and just, like, snaps around like a fucking weeping angel and, like, eyes. But the worst thing is, right, when you fuck up like this, when you get caught, and I got caught a lot, and that is probably the angry... That's the point where you'll hear me break. Because it was like 3 a.m. and I was done. And like from that point on, I'm like, all right, we're just going to get through this now. So you're coming with me, but we're not going to be happy people at the end of this. Right, by the end of that thing, when we get through it, like, no, sorry, when you get caught, it loads back into a failure state mission, where someone goes, oh, you failed, which is like a 20, 30-second loading time, and then there's another 20-second loading time to put you back in the world, where you take 2 steps forwards, and then it loads for 20 seconds back into the mission, where it goes, we'll be sneaky, and then it loads into the actual proper mission after that. So there are 4 loading times to restart. 4. And that's every time you fail. It takes about 2 minutes to restart.
The thing that gets me about that game, though, is I don't get how it got past QA at all.
Well, that section could entirely be cut. Just to have the guards out the fucking way.
That's it. But that's it. I don't...
Right, there's... the princess, right, in the story of this game, the princess gets kidnapped 4 times. The game is set on 1 day. She is kidnapped and saved 4 fucking times.
It's set over 1 day.
It's set over 1 day. There's like a past bit and the future bit, but it's like the actual present time where she gets kidnapped 4 times by Dr. Robotnik. Jesus, I don't know what the plot is. I finish it now and I go, I don't know what Robotnik was doing. I don't know what anybody was doing. I don't know what anything was doing. It is literally...
He was trying to revive the Solaris project. I've been paying attention.
Wrong.
Oh.
Absolutely wrong, because he at one point is like, now I'll trade the princess for some Chaos Emeralds, and then later on he's like, now I'll trade these Chaos Emeralds for a princess, and he's like, now I'll trade these princess for a Chaos. And he's just constantly, I'm like, what are you even doing? What is your main goal here? What is your objective?
He's the worst businessman of all time. That's his job.
Awful. He's all like...
He's playing Sonic Business Simulator and failing.
It's just... Right, it's literally the worst game I've ever played, because most games this bad I wouldn't actually keep playing. But it's the worst game I have ever played. It is Sonic 06. Wow. Until I do that.
Speaking of terrible, terrible games,
uh-huh.
I think it was in the last podcast I did tell you that Capcom had issued a threat, which is they had said that Umbrella Corps was just the beginning, and sadly I was proved right. Since then they've not quite confirmed, but they've pretty much as close to confirmed as they can. Resident Evil 7 exists and it's going to be at E3.
Hooray!
And given the trajectory of Resident Evil games through 5 and 6, I don't know how bad 7's going to be, but it could be dangerously bad.
Or it could be a spectacular return to form like 4 was. Because we had 1 was a great game that I've never actually finished because giant spiders and horrible dog monsters. 1 is a masterclass in horror because you walk up and down the same corridor a whole bunch of times and then one time a dog jumps through the window and you shit yourself.
Yeah, it's aged appallingly, but it was sublime at the time.
2 was awful. It's not very good at all. It's quite a few people do kind of like it, but there's nothing really there for anyone anymore. But there's no reason to go back to it. 3 is even worse. 4 is just beyond a doubt the best of the series. It never got any better than
Code Veronica's actually alright. Code Veronica is okay.
I'll go through the main
like 2 and 3, but quite polished.
It's okay. But then we had 5, where they went, 4 was popular, let's do 4 again, but like not as good.
Nowhere near as
Which is
good.
what I like to call Far Cry
Well, they brought back
syndrome.
so much bullshit, like appalling inventory.
Yeah.
4 had the most beautiful inventory management system in the world, then 5 they brought back bullshit, massive limitations.
Yep. And then we had 6. I didn't even know there was a 6 until recently.
It's so bad.
That's just a horrible, horrible nightmares of which one cannot wake. And then, so 7's either going to be, like, following the power of Resident Evil, 7 should be amazing.
Well, they've said they're going to take it back to its horror roots, but I don't believe them for one
I'd like
bloody
to point
second.
out it was best when it wasn't even near horror with Resident Evil 4, which is kind of... It's got that slightly spooky horror, but it's also... It's mostly atmosphere and building and way less scary things and monsters.
Not spooky. It's spoopy.
Spoopy.
Spoopy horror. Spoopy. It's not very good horror. Spoopy.
Spoopy.
We also kind of will be very curious to keeping an eye for the Resident Evil 7 logo to see if it looks at all like, you know, someone filleting an animal, like Resident Evil 6 logos did.
I mean, like with a 7, it's quite difficult to do unless you got like a lot of drippy bit. Let me get a snake, so you can have sort of snake kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, it's a giraffe and just
our 6
looking
was a
from
giraffe.
the head up.
Our 6 was a giraffe. Unless we're actually going to
Giraffe
tell the
getting a
story of
blowjob,
this
yeah.
giraffe. Like, it's
I just want you to know, like, in my notes, the note for this piece is Resident Evil 7 sad face. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Oh.
And when I learned Resident Evil 7 existed, I just wrote Resident Evil 7
quite
sad
actually,
face.
isn't it?
That's my response.
I have seen people suggest that perhaps maybe it might be a VR piece.
Oh my god.
That would be a way to
nightmares.
make it even worse.
You know, I don't want to play horror in VR ever.
No.
Ever.
No.
Ever. Never, never,
Yeah,
ever.
I don't, but I could see how it would be a really good idea.
Yeah. Can I,
No, it sounds like a terrible
Can
idea, though.
sorry, I need to jump back because I've got the Metacritic page up and I've read this 1,000 times, so I just want to read it again. This is the Xbox Magazine UK review of Sonic 06, right? This is their thing. Next gen Sonic is awkward, dogged by awful levels and a terrible hub system, plus the basic action never gets that challenging. When you die, it's because you couldn't see or you fell off by accident. It's hugely frustrating. 6 out of 10!
Perfect.
That is someone who just hasn't understood how numbers work.
Fucking hell. It's like IGN did that fucking Homefront. I'm gonna read the thing from Homefront's review because it was IGN's review. It was spectacular. Their number thing was spectacular.
While you're looking that up, very brief bit of actual gaming news. We have a little bit more detail about the return to Arkham bundle. The 3, kind of okay Arkham games getting properly remastered, and they're
Three.
it's going to be.
I thought it was just the 2.
Can we establish that it is just 2? It's just City and Arkham original.
I read 3. I read
no,
it was
Arkham
original City and the new one.
Origins doesn't
Origins
count.
isn't in it. Definitely not Origins. But I thought Night was
isn't it.
included.
No, Night isn't. Night's already really good. I want to point out that they're not proper remasters. They are just like...
No, they're just little repolishers.
Yeah, that's what, they're not on PC because they're basically just high PC setting versions on the new consoles. That's all they are, with high resolutions and frame rates.
They've moved to they've kind of moved to Unreal 4 from Unreal 3, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just a tiny bit more shiny. So if you've never actually... I mean, I think if you've played Arkham before, don't bother. But if you've never played Arkham before, for the fact it's basically going to be the same price as a full normal release, to be honest. By the looks of it, I think they're saying like £40 or $50. But if you've never played the Arkham games before, and you're on console, might be worth a look.
As someone, right, I'm doing... This is the first time I've ever done this. Now, I want to point out, I'm new game plusing a game for the first time ever.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And it's Arkham Knight.
Whoa.
Oh.
Have they actually fixed that yet?
Yeah, they have. I 120%ed it. I fully completed it on the first playthrough, and now
there's some more people that don't understand how numbers
if
work.
If you've 120%ed it, it has not been fixed.
Okay, I want to point out how that works.
Still got some errors.
The base game is 100% completion, and then the DLC is 20%.
Oh, okay.
So
this is one of the reasons, because for the first 2 Batman Arkham games, they ended up with releasing Game of the Years, and they looked like there was so much extra faff they were releasing on these games. I kind of haven't bought Arkham Knight just on until they release all of it in one place. I can't be bothered.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Arkham Knight, right, is it had such a bad launch, and I think a lot of people got really put off by some of the very forced tank combat sections. Because the tank's good, I like the tank puzzles, and some of the tank combat sections are good, but there's way too many of them the tank combat. Not tank puzzles, fine. Tank combat too much. And it just, I think a lot of people didn't like the full open city, and I do because I am a sucker for open world games like that. As I think most of us have agreed that Mirror's Edge open world doesn't work, but I think Batman does.
Yeah. I mean, my favourite, I love the Lego Batman 2. It's the only place who's done Gotham well. Because I like my Gotham to have big giant gargoyles coming out of the ground.
Well, no,
and they do it with minifigures. That's wonderful.
Arkham Knight has this. Arkham Knight does this great thing where when you're flying around at a certain point and there's gargoyles on the roofs of these buildings, and one of the times when you grapple up there, Man-Bat is just one of them and just fucking jump scares you and then flies off.
You get that with the Joker as well later on.
Yeah, no, randomly, and the Joker does it later and just laughs at you because of you previously being freaked out by Man-Bat.
But that can happen absolutely any time, can't it?
But does it have giant men holding up things?
No, it doesn't have giant, huge Lego men destruction.
That's what I want from Gotham, and it's not put in enough.
You mean you want the sort of what was it? Not Batman.
Like I said, Lego Batman.
You want the front cover of Atlas Shrugged, basically, in architecture form.
What was Batman with Jim Carrey? I always forget the name of it. Batman Forever.
Yeah, Batman Forever had Jim Carrey.
The Batman Forever city. That had these ridiculous, stupid, Batman Forever.
And also
city.
neon glowing face paint thugs.
Yeah, Batman Forever City was this ridiculously kind of. Oh yeah, Arkham Knight's a lot like that in a lot of ways. It's a bit less extreme, but it's still quite.
Lego, Lego did it so wonderfully. That's my favourite Gotham.
Okay.
Oh, I found it. I found the IGN thing.
What
IGN for the Homefront thing. This is what they call a 5 out of 10 review, right? Ultimately, all of Homefront the Revolution's elements feel repetitive, unpolished, or downright unnecessary. Over the length of its campaign, it fails to deliver a satisfying or even functional shooter experience. 5 out of 10. IGN.
So average.
It's average.
Amazing.
That's what they think the average is now.
Amazing.
So good. I love IGN and all their faces.
Well, remember how much flack they got for giving something a 7? What was it? They gave a 7 and
oh my god!
Really
speaking of that, there's a fucking petition to remove the Washington Post Uncharted 4 review.
Oh, it was Uncharted 4, wasn't it? Yeah.
Uncharted 4 got a 4 out of 10 from Washington Post. They gave it 2 reviews. I don't know why they gave it 2. I didn't really pay attention much to it, but one of them was a 4 out of 10. It's on Metacritic. Actually, it was just a really negative review, but they gave it a random score of 4 out of 10. And because that's what Metacritic do, they apply scores to stuff. And a lot of people are petitioning to get it removed because apparently it takes it down from a 96 game to a 95 game or whatever. It's really, it's who gives a shit?
Why do people care that much about other people's opinions?
And you know what? I fucking agree with a 4 out of 10 for Jackal.
Were they the ones who did the apology letter?
Which
Oh, that was Videogamer. Videogamer.com.
Sorry. Okay. Videogamer did a wonderful article.
Yeah.
Blatantly not apologising.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I read that. It was very good.
That was
very good.
Now, I want to take a side note here because me and John need some time.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
No word.
Fallout 4 Far Harbor and the new Hitman levels coming in a few days.
Yep, the episode 3 is, I believe, May 31st, and before then we've got the next elusive contract in Hitman for people who are playing along with Hitman Live.
Oh my god, I want to talk about this fucking elusive fucking contracts.
Go on. I like them a lot.
I loathe the way they're doing so these contracts are basically somebody will appear in the game one, you got to murder them, and you only get one shot at doing it, and if you fuck up...
day.
Yeah, you get one shot, one thing to do, if you fuck up, it's gone forever. I didn't hear about the first one until it was gone. The second one's coming up, but I'm going to be far too busy to do it. And I'm like, okay, well, this is a whole section of this game that I paid money for that I'm just not going to fucking get a hold of.
I think the point of it is, it's so, you can't look it up. The idea is you have to figure it out yourself.
Well, I think the point of it is to try and add value to a game that's unfinished so people actually buy it. That's what
they're trying to add a competitive element by giving everyone one shot, but they fucked it up because you can replan at any point before the target dies, which is how people, even though they only get one shot, get such high scores.
Yes, you can.
And I really hope they take that out because that's the biggest mistake they've made.
A big feedback form to the last one. I'm concerned, cause I think they probably will, when the game is fully out, they'll probably take all the elusive contracts and just put them in as contracts.
I suspect they will. When they eventually box it up, they will all be there.
Of an elusive contract, just don't have a deadline. Don't say you have to do it in these 2 days. Be like, that's in the game
bigger
now.
problem,
you get one shot at it.
The bigger problem is, me and Square Enix have a slightly different definition of elusive. Which is their definition of elusive is they tell you what the bloke looks like, they put him in a unique uniform, and then he wanders around, and when you enter the level, they say, you'll probably find him in his office, which is on the 2nd floor. And that's exactly what happened in the first one. They actually showed you him straight away. He was wearing a unique uniform, he has a unique set of voice and accents, and they actually tell you when you load the level, his office is on the 1st floor, you'll probably be able to catch him there, and that is indeed one of the best places to catch him.
It was way too
fairness,
easy.
And that is really weird. Why on earth did they show... I don't even want to be shown his face. I want there to be, like, 4 people in the level who it theoretically could be, and I have to fucking figure it out by following them around
like
and listening in their conversations.
That one over the old Hitman game where you were slowly getting the information in the ear and you were, like, trying to...
Yeah, that is St. Petersburg stakeout in Hitman 2 Signed Assassin, where there's, like, 6 potential targets, and you're being fed the description to figure out which one to shoot.
I like that.
By their behaviour and descriptions. That's what it needs to be like. You should not be shown the guy. I think they're making it way too easy. It needs to have. It needs to be,
I think they're making it way too hard.
It should be entirely feasible that you spend like half an hour stalking a person, you execute them, leave the level, and then get told, actually, that was his brother Steve. Sorry, you killed the wrong one.
So hang on. So
in fairness, Square Enix have got a lot better though, because before they did have the giant anime hair and the weapon 5 times the size, and they really stuck out.
Yeah.
By now they're practically
Kill Squall. All right, I'll find him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem I have with them is that I have a job and things to be doing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's I don't want to have to plan my life around playing a video game, so just put them in the fucking game.
Even if they were limited, like a week, give them a week.
Yeah. Just,
I
no, I just want them to be just there. Just, you got the game, even if it's like want to be an early thing, you only get them there, well fine, glue them onto my game and I'll get to them when I want to. But I'd have to install Hitman to be able to play that, because I uninstalled it, because I didn't like it very much.
I think maybe it'd be worth them doing only in the first day do your points count towards the global leaderboard.
Do it like that. Have the 48 hours of you can get the points at this point, but then actually you can get the shot and whatever trophies and stuff attached to it and unique gear and stuff at this one.
Yeah.
So there we go. But I
actually quite enjoy the leaderboards in Hitman. Like, I took a bit of pride that, like, I was briefly in the top 250 in the world in Sapienza.
Okay.
Briefly. Not anymore.
How do you mean you get just like for how good your kill is?
Points.
Yeah, for total score.
Oh, okay, score.
So you have to basically do a perfect silent assassin, never get spotted in the first place, and do it as fast as possible.
Okay.
And I briefly managed to nudge my way in the top 250 in the world, which I was very proud of.
Okay, that's... Yeah.
How many people had played it at the time?
6.
Oh, that was after it had been actually out for a while, actually. That was when I was doing one. That was probably about 6 days after that episode came out.
Not bad.
So there's been a fair amount of playtime.
Always important to double check that number. Otherwise, people go, oh, it's the top 250 people of the 250 people who played it.
Yeah.
No. Actually, the amazing thing is, like, I played the first Elusive Contract like 2 hours after it came out, and even though I got Silent Assassin, which only 10% of people do, like, I wasn't even close to the top 500.
Did you
like
know,
that?
Don?
Because too many people were replanning.
Do you know, Don, I was very briefly #1 in the world at Fallout 4.
Because you were the only person who played it.
Oh, for bloody hell! You're just saying this. There was no leaderboard in Fallout 4.
Well,
Fortunately, if
there
there
was
was
a
ever
leaderboard.
leaderboards in Fallout 4, I'd be sad.
There was a leaderboard in my life. Life leaderboard.
Really? Because I think I'd be #1 in your life leaderboard, just in everything.
Well, I
my
always
kind
give
of
myself top marks. But
Aw, bless you.
it's quite sad, really, isn't it?
I don't care for it. I don't like the episodic thing. It doesn't work for how I play
Yeah,
games.
I
I
don't-
don't like going, hey, we play this thing over and over and over and over.
No, I agree with that, but I think these levels are so good.
I think Sapienza is the best level in the entirety of the franchise.
Good. I look forward to playing them all in one go across a couple of days and be like, oh, that was the thing. Because it's much better than having like 50 gig of useless games on my hard drive.
I know you quite like playing it, and you play it and you do it, and then you're done and you move on. I quite like sort of trying to find all the different ways to do it, and
I like finding all the stories. I love finding all the stories you can just overhear by eavesdropping and piecing it together.
I think
see, it sounds like something I would genuinely care for, but I just find it's like it burnt me out with fucking Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, when it's like, here's the thing, oh, it's 27 hours of gameplay, you finish it in 45 minutes. Oh, that was it. Oh, okay, well, I'm out.
Yeah.
I like just playing a thing. Like, this is why I'm enjoying Doom. It's a 13-hour campaign. Can play it for 13 hours. Don't have to touch no shitty multiplayer.
No.
Don't have to play no thing. Oh my god, I'm sure my computer's shut up. Sonic 06 has finished rendering, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
It has been rendering for, what is that, 4 hours now?
Jesus.
4 hours to do that.
Jesus.
There's some fun stuff going on in there.
No.
It's just slow.
I mean,
You put more effort into that game, editing those videos, than they did in making the game.
You know what? I'm pretty sure I did.
Which is funny because it's your unedited
Yeah,
ones as well.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this leads on nicely. It doesn't lead on nicely at all. To the next thing, which is Far Harbor, which is the best thing ever.
Okay, good.
Yes, I agree. This is the best DLC they've ever made for Fallout.
I've literally not played it yet.
No.
My character's stuck in a fridge, so I don't know what to do.
That is a point, actually, isn't it?
No, because that's a different save. That wasn't even Chloe. Secret spoilers.
Oh, wow. You're fucking
No, it was
ruining
fine.
the illusion.
Yeah, I've got so far, and I'm like, what am I down in this thing for? Oh, fuck yeah. All right, hang on. Let's go back a few. Oh, there we go.
Like, it's so good. It's got rid of essential characters in it. There's multiple choices. There are speech checks. There are fucking skill checks. There's fucking puzzles you have to figure out yourself. There's this great puzzle that you just get given a map.
It's just a map.
You just get given a map with a few X's on, and you have to like figure out how to like turn all these levers, and you have to repair all these things, and a bunch of skill checks, or you can get parts for all of them instead. And there's hidden chests and treasures, and there's the one where it's like, oh, I hid a thing in the fish net, and you go find it, and there's loads of good gear, and you get rewarded properly for stuff.
I don't think you've even got to the best bit yet, because you haven't finished off like properly concluded Far Harbor, like the town
No
yet, have you?
spoilers, please.
Wait, no, I've done all the quests within half.
Half.
If you love New Vegas, what eventually happens in Far Harbor, you will absolutely love. You will ejaculate all over your computer screen.
Because I got so happy with sort of Far Harbor in that, like, I was saying before, one of my favorite things to do in Fallout is, I think if you've ever watched I don't know how many of people who are watching have watched my Fallout streams, but one of my favorite things to do is just wander around like Camp Golf or Camp McCarran while I'm friendly with the NCR and killing all of them without any of them seeing me or and me walking away still friendly with the NCR, but I've massacred the entire camp. And you couldn't do that in Fallout 4 because there's no factions, strictly, and there's, not really anything like that, and so many characters are essential, it doesn't really work. But in this you can, and I got really annoyed because if you kill a named character, they all instantly go hostile to you even if no one sees you.
Though I'd say arguably it's probably still the most moral thing you can do is probably just to assassinate Tectus and then just run.
Yeah, I did kill everyone else aside from the main character, so there's not many people standing in my way anymore. I don't know why they're not like so bothered or concerned about all the bodies missing heads around the place. It's a bit concerning. I know. I mean, they're children of Atom. Who really gives a shit?
Atom does.
They give quite a good account of themselves, which is nice. It's the first time we've ever actually had like a vaguely positive look at the children of Atom. Which is, they're utter nutters, but if they weren't just sitting around being nutters here, they'd be out there eating people. So probably better they're here instead.
Dan, there's a quest which involves because the children of religion, there's one woman who finds a physics book, and she realizes that the atom is a lot of empty space, and she thinks that they have to worship empty space instead. It was a lot like your Richard Dawkins rant on Twitter. It was basically the same thing, but she was like, no, you're all wrong. It's actually empty space. But she had the exact same arguments about atom.
It's a beautiful piss take of religion, that quest. Where she's the heretic because she's preaching about nothing and they're preaching about the atom, and you have to take the side of atom just because you're trying to get on their side. It's beautiful.
Oh,
also, Witcher Blood and Wine is out incredibly soon.
People have already got reviews up for it, which annoys me because IGN has one. I asked for a review code and they went, no, they're coming at release. So how the fuck did that? Fuck you, IGN.
I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to get back to Witcher.
Yeah, I've yet to play it properly.
I've yet to play it properly because I haven't got anywhere near the end of the quest yet, so I probably should finish it off first. But I do like just dicking around, really.
I barely started it though. I played it for like an hour.
I just love being a bloke doing his job. Like, I'm a monster hunter. Let's go hunt monsters, and then hunt some monsters like that. It was a good day's work. I'm now gonna go and shag a wench in the local tavern. Yeah, that's just standard day out.
John, did you play that much?
I have never played any. Like, people told me I would love Witcher 3. Like, based on the games that I like. People have said I would love Witcher 2. But I've always said, yes, but I don't want to do that because I understand like it feels like a big epic trilogy thing. So like I wouldn't want to play Mass Effect 3 before I played Mass Effect 1 and 2.
I think you can play it without
playing The Witcher.
You can, but I'd get more from it if I played the earlier ones. So I actually want to do like a mini series of Witcher, then jump forward to Witcher 2, then jump forward to Witcher 3, and do like one mini series a month at some point.
As someone who currently has Witcher 1 and 2 installed on their computer for this very same logic, I'm totally on your side for this. Like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly through the way the things should go.
I jumped straight into 3, and 3 was fine. It explains everything for newbies really well.
I get annoyed with this because I kind of do this with movies and games as well. Like I skip with the previous Arkham games. There's a lot on Arkham Knight that's sort of happening that I don't really understand. I can kind of guess, but you
can't. I think Knight would. I think you'd be really quite difficult to struggle with if you didn't understand the full concept, particularly of City. You kind of need City for Knight.
If you know Batman
but they come
lore,
from comic books. I recently was reading a comic book. And sort of by issue 6, it would tell you in the introduction everything that happened in the last 5 comic books, but wouldn't tell me anything about who the fuck any of these people were. And this was a 1 to 6 of an issue series. It wasn't even like it was like, issue 500, where it's like, okay, fair enough. At least this was issue 1 to issue 6, and it wasn't introducing basic things.
Yeah, fucking Captain America Civil War. Whenever they reveal a character, I'm like, I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is.
So it's Ant-Man.
He's like a man, but he's like a spider. What the hell's going on here?
They have the worst after credits scene on the new X-Men film, where everyone I knew came away from it going, so what the fuck was that end credit scene about? Like, I've never seen a whole cinema go, so what the fuck is that?
Maybe I'll go see, like, because I get free tickets, so maybe I'll just get a ticket for it and just go in at the end of the film and see the end credit screen. I might do that, actually. I don't live far from the cinema. So.
The end credit scene is basically a name, but it's just one half of a name of someone, and it's not their proper supervillain name. It's their everyday name, and you're like, not enough people knew that name. Like,
yeah,
yes, if you said Wayne Tech, like, I would know who that is, but in this particular case,
and that would be one hell of a twist at the end of an X-Man film. If Batman was coming in, that'd be a brilliant twist.
In fairness, that's probably the only way DC stands a chance of getting anyone to see any of their movies is to put them in the Marvel
Sneak them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Jesus. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Jesus.
they just put sort of a surname at the end, and everyone came out. And even working out it was a surname, I had to look it up to find that out because
I actually think Batman would work quite well in the Avengers. I think you'd have a really interesting.
Batman
would work really well.
I fucking really dislike DC because DC is mostly mythical, like aliens, and then you got Batman, who's a super grounded character, and then Marvel is mostly sort of grounded mutants or
those grounded mutants with that.
You know what I mean?
That grounded vision, the magic robot who can fire lasers out of his face.
Look, you know what I mean? They generally explain them in some way. There's some sort of scientific explanation.
No, actually, I think the more they add to the Marvel universe, the more it's strange and collapses under its own arse.
Yeah, I think I agree with you completely.
I agree with that, especially as Doctor Strange is coming next, who is literally magic.
Yeah,
but I think that X-Men by themselves are quite, do have that sort of, they've got the balance right. Whereas, this is the whole problem I have with sort of Batman. It's like Batman should really just be writing up office reports for Superman, because Superman can easily do both of their jobs better and quicker with fewer casualties. It's like...
Ooh, the film Man of Steel begs to differ.
Yeah, but has anyone actually watched that and liked it?
No. Physically impossible to do so. I've checked.
But
wait, if we're talking about movies... and on a gaming podcast, surely we should talk about the fact that the Assassin's Creed movie is mostly set in the modern day and not back in time. It's about 6
which means the trailer is a big fat liar.
Well, this was the thing. Like, I watched the trailer and went, "Oh, that's looking really bad. That's looking really bad. Oh, that parkour bit's looking interesting. Maybe there's hope for this." Oh no.
Can I also point out that this movie has pre-order bonuses? If you go to if you just search for Assassin's Creed pre-order, you can actually get like $15 will get you the movie ticket, but you also get a script, $40 movie ticket, you get a t-shirt, a watch and a script. You can actually get the movie tickets early.
Well,
they give you the script as you go in. That's a time saver.
Legitimately, absolutely true. This is...
Okay.
I'll put it in the live stream chat so you can have
What also really bugged me about it, by the way, was like I looked at the Spanish Inquisition. That's actually a more interesting setting for a game than about 2/3 of the actual game franchise. Why haven't we had a game set there?
I absolutely expected it would be the Spanish Inquisition.
As the only person in this group who's played every Assassin's Creed game,
have you played all of Liberation?
Sorry, Liberation's my jam.
I played a lot of Liberation.
Have you played all of Rogue?
It's
what about Chronicles China? Chronicles China, have you finished that?
Chronicles
what about the Game Boy Advance one?
I've actually got
There's a lot of Assassin's Creed
PSP
games,
one.
Matt.
You played the PSP one of Assassin's Creed 2. That's really good.
I'm going to rephrase. The only person in the group who's played all the core Assassin's Creed games, as in the main ones.
Oh, alright.
Thank you.
Matt, I've played all of
all
of them now, yeah.
All the way through?
Oh, God, no. I would like to point out I played literally one all the way through. That was Assassin's Creed 1, and none of the others have kept me going all the way through.
Okay, as the only one who's played all of them all the way through. I
played some of them all the way through. I regret most of it.
I've not even played the boat one all the way through, because that means story, and who cares for story?
No, the story is shit. I fucking hate the movie concept, because the whole point of the Animus, right, in the gameplay concept, it's just a way to explain UI elements.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's just this way of trying to integrate UI elements and sort of invisible boundaries and deaths and respawning. It's trying to literally make that feel like immersive and make it feel what that's supposed to be.
Yep.
And that makes sense. It's a gameplay mechanic. That's all it really is. I mean, the only reason I think they even bother doing that as opposed to just having it in the past is just for the gameplay mechanic. And I don't... What's the point in doing an Assassin's Creed? Because we've already had Desmond. We've already seen the future stuff. We don't need to see that anymore.
Pink Floyd said it best when they said, money! Do you know? Anyway, it's money. They want to make money, and the Assassin's Creed name now has a bit more global reach and knowledge.
No, but they could totally do an Assassin's Creed movie with just the Spanish Inquisition. They don't have to bother with the future stuff. Just have Michael Fassbender in the
but Matt, back to the money. How much do you think it costs to film in an empty, white room versus building a massive Spanish Inquisition set?
A, they've already built the man of Spanish Inquisition set, and B, it's not an empty right room. It's like this weird right room. They have this weird lift.
Yeah, but then
not a lift. That's the production over budget.
It's like a weird.
You didn't tell us about a lift. Christ, where are we going to get one of them from?
Confused and scared when things are different, and movie audiences are dumb assholes, from what I can tell. So this is why the Star Trek films are the way they are.
They're stupid.
Yeah, look at Star Trek Beyond's latest trailer. I actually committed suicide 6 times while watching that thing.
Can I just address
can I say, as someone who only played quite a lot of those games to get the Desmond storyline, and felt like the rest of the game was just getting in the way of my nice Desmond story, even I don't think it looks any good from a real life standpoint.
And as someone who really fucking hated Desmond and cheered when his brain was ripped out and stamped on, I don't care about it either, really.
Spoilers, Joe.
Oh, who gives a toss? Seriously, that would cheer me up. If I knew Desmond was going to get murdered, I'd be like, oh, brilliant.
I felt like they really chickened out at the end of that. Like, I feel like they had a bigger plan, and then they didn't. It was a real plot tweeze.
No.
It was just we're going to do something interesting. No, we're not.
No, you know why they didn't do something interesting? Because they probably originally only planned it to be like 3 games, and that was it.
Yeah,
and then
it was originally
franchise.
written as 3 games, and then they made them expand. What's his twat face? And so the writer
Ezio got a lot of expansions.
Ezio got
honestly, Ezio having a few games was fine because they were more sort of slight spin-offs. You know, they were more like the Fallout New Vegas's, but not in goodness. By the way, I just want to set that. But
Fallout New Constantinople.
You know what I mean? They were sort of spin-offs, and they kind of made
or Istanbul, sense. As we might call it, in fact.
Yeah, but.
I was quite pleased with that joke. Fuck the lot of you.
I'm singing the song in my head.
No, but fucking Assassin's Creed 3, it probably went, we could have this big epic ending and the world ends or something ridiculous happens, or there's the everyone goes back to primitive. They probably would have done something very profound, and they went, no, No,
Money!
we have a franchise here. We need to make this a yearly release. And they did.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is that the dev team on Assassin's Creed are really fucking talented. Clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, fuck me. Like,
Didn't they make the
detail in those
Unity
cities
engine?
is incredible.
No,
No, but this is the thing, though. But this is the thing, though. Like, all of that is, like, not... All the problems with them are, I don't think, a fault of the dev team. They're just a fault of the bad business decisions. Rushing and forcing them to put in microtransactions and all this bollocks. Like, if they just went, make a good Assassin's Creed game, whatever, we're out of it. Here's 3 years. They could make fucking something amazing. Amazing. It's amazing.
But
Yeah, but
money,
they're not going to.
Yep.
It's cash in.
Ubisoft,
It's
yeah.
Ubisoft. What if they haven't made a game you gave a fuck about? Look at The Division. What the fuck is that supposed to be?
I'm the one person in the world that liked Watch Dogs.
I like Watch Dogs,
You were.
but apart from the
Watch
plot-
Dogs 2 confirmed before April next year, so probably holiday season this year.
You know what?
So
If Watch
it'll be
Dogs actually
delayed
has
and
good
released
driving-
about March next year. Then I look forward to it.
Yeah. Legitimately, if Watch Dogs 2 has actually good driving physics, I'll totally
The
play
story.
it.
I
the
liked
story-
Watch
the
Dogs
story
1's
was so bad.
driving.
The story-
It had great
I know, I
bikes, really
quite
good
liked
motorcycles.
Everything about Watch Dogs 1, apart from the story, was
You're
so
both wrong.
awful. It really. threw
I
me
was
out of
okay
it.
with Grumpy Pants McGee, whatever his name was. I liked how utterly miserable he
I don't
was.
fucking remember his name, but it was so.
Aiden Pierce.
Corny as shit. I mean, like that woman whose only point was there to die at the end to spur the thing on. Spoilers. When she dies on the grave of the other one, you're like, really?
Oh, that was.
I literally, that whole scene was supposed to be super emotional. I was on the floor fucking laughing.
Yeah, but that guy's like Batman. He needs other people's misery to power his superpowers.
His superpowers of owning a mobile phone in the year
Yeah,
2016.
a really good mobile phone.
They're really good
Problem is, like, the
apps.
game-
Yeah.
The game mechanics are interesting. It's just like to me, right? As because someone who plays GTA a lot and stuff like that. When I get into a big open world game like that, and it's like, okay, your car has no physics; it's stuck to the ground. You can't go up. We're in buildings, and like, oh,
Yeah, that was slightly weird, but I thought it was quite nice and weighty and.
I like the fact there's no flying vehicles in it at all, so you actually have to like learn the layout of the city.
no,
And
that's
like,
fine.
I
Having no
like
flying
not having
vehicles is
flying.
fine.
I like flying.
Also, I think to my mind, like Chicago is like to my mind like the perfect size for an open city space.
Oh, totally,
Like
with
all
the
of it's
bridges and
all of it's nice. You can look around. You can know where you are on the map just by looking around because it's really well designed. The corners all look very different. The industrial corner and like the slummy corner and the really nice parky bit.
Oh
and the
no, it's a
built-up
great
bit.
city for a game.
It's really, and it's like you can drive around it, and it's not too big, but it's not too small. Like say, I went back and like played Saints Row the Third recently,
Yeah.
and these days that city feels tiny.
It's
like that
so
map
tiny.
feels utterly,
It's horribly
tiny. I find GTA 5 too big because there's too much of it that's just got nothing
Saints
of
Row
interest
2
in
is
it.
the perfect map. I've said there are two maps that I would consider.
Yeah.
Like for its time, I would have said Vice City was great, but maps have got sort of bigger. But Saints Row 2 has such a wonderful diversity across its map, and it's
Can we
perfect
talk? What about San
size.
Andreas? Can we not talk about San
San
Andreas?
Andreas is colossal. I mean, San Andreas always felt colossal because they did a lot of things that made it feel colossal.
Well, that's what's clever. San Andreas is incredible because it is a tiny map,
It's
but
super
it
tiny.
feels fucking huge.
because it's a constant changing scenery, terrain. They lock you off. They make the roads twist and bend and turn, and
And they make-
the fog of war is
Well,
about 3 feet. So yeah.
Well, I loved it because I always get pissed off in GTA 5 that if I get in a fast car, I can drive to the top of the map in a couple of minutes. When if you want to do that in San Andreas, it actually took you a good while to drive. But if you got in a plane, it'd take you 2 minutes because you could go over everything, and that made sense. You were in a plane, I have no reason to use a plane in fucking 5. It's like, well, there's one runway and it takes me less time to drive.
Yep.
And it annoyed me the level design of that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like how they had the which was. Do you guys know what the biggest open world game of 2016 was?
Just Cause 3?
No, sorry, 2015. I meant.
Just Cause 3.
No,
Still Just Cause 3?
it was Xenoblade Chronicles because you
fuck that
pilot
game.
a mech. So
Fuck that game.
most
You
of the
mean
game.
Chronicles X, yeah?
Fuck that
Yes,
game.
sorry, Chronicles
Fuck
X.
that
Yeah.
game. Fuck that game.
Why fuck that game?
I enjoyed watching you hate that game on the stream you did. That was fun.
Because it just goes on for so fucking long going, oh, you should do this, you should do that.
It does. It is a game which wanted to be more sociable and ruined the game because of it compared
What
to
you said, you said,
Chronicles,
you're in a
which
mech.
was-
It takes fucking 30 hours to get a fucking mech. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And they had much better plot in the last game, so I'd have loved to have
Oh,
seen
Chronicles had an amazing plot.
Yeah, and such a wonderful world as well.
And a brilliant score, and great voice acting.
Yeah. Though I was struggling because I was playing it while I was watching Doctor Who, and one of the voice actresses is also plays Clara in Doctor Who, and I got confused
really? Which
over.
was Clara?
She was the most recent companion, though, just been replaced.
No, in the
No,
game.
no, which one? No, what?
Oh,
What?
she was.
Fired. That's it.
What?
She was the girl with the small wings.
Which one was Clara? Oh, she was K9. Yeah, she played K9.
Yeah.
Melia was Clara?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. To IMDb.
You know the biggest. What's the biggest open world game of all time? That's a question for you guys. What do you think it was?
Just because one was massive. Wasn't
The second Elder Scrolls
yeah,
game.
Fucking
The
right, Daggerfall.
Yeah.
Daggerfall.
Really?
Yeah, it's what is it? Fucking.
There's literally nothing in
it's
it,
empty
but
shit. It was
it's
like randomly
there.
generated terrain, apart from a few things around it. It is. I think it's the size. It's 62,000.
It's like the fucking
square
size
miles.
of Greenland.
Yeah, it's literally a whole
No,
country
wait.
in the game.
Well, wasn't Fallout 1 and 2, weren't they sort of in the entire Western United States?
They don't count because you aren't moving around there. You're moving on a grid, so
Yeah.
I don't.
Are
think
you
that
moving
really
on
that
are you actually in
counts.
first, third person?
Yes, you are actually in first person in Daggerfall. You're wandering
How
on
the
first
fuck do you
person.
travel that distance?
Well, most of the time you just walk between the things and you can get shortcuts, etc. But you can just walk for 62,000 miles in one. 60,000 square
And I
miles.
would walk
you wanna
60,000
touch it
miles
all.
an hour.
If you want to compare that, like Skyrim is what, like 18 square miles. So 18 compared to 62,000. It's the biggest game in the world, I believe.
Apparently, True Crime Street of LA has like a really big map.
Yeah, but that game was a piece of shit, so let's not think about it.
I know. Just because 2 has a very big map.
But no, for perfect map
let's see.
size, I always said Saints Row 2 because it had like the university district, it had sort of more of the like the upmarket district, and it had the airport, and my favourite was the airport. Oh my god, I love the airport district, and it just had a whole bunch of beautiful little places. It had like the beach bit, and they all felt like their own. They all connected together really nicely. You never noticed the transition, but they all were the very much own distinct sort of areas. And
Fuck me, you're right.
Well,
Yeah.
Jenna Coleman is Melia.
that one, okay.
You know what? You know what? This makes me really, really pleased about that. Shulk doesn't end up with Melia. He ends up with Fiora. Because fuck Jenna Coleman and fuck Clara and fuck that companion. I'm glad she's gone and she better stay dead this time. And I'm really glad Melia ended up suffering, losing everything, and didn't end up with Shulk. Fuck Melia.
Oh god.
This makes me feel better about Clara knowing that someone else Jenna Coleman played suffered that fucking badly. Because there's no end to how much Melia suffered in that game.
Oh, for God. Okay.
I also could not play as Melia. She's the only character I just could not play as the lead character.
Here's a question.
Hang
on, here's a question. I wonder if we could consider Kerbal Space Program to be the biggest open world game.
No, this is it. The chat's talking about a lot of games, Rudinia, No Man's Sky, Minecraft. I think when we're referring to in-game map, I think we should establish rules in that it's a planet on a single planet map that is crafted and not procedurally generated.
Well, then Daggerfall's fucked off because it won't be Daggerfall.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if it's got procedurally generated, maybe don't.
Well, here's the thing: is a lot of these bigger open maps do use a small amount of procedural generation to create them, and then they lock them. So something
a little bit's fine.
So something like Rodina, which has an entire fucking planet, was procedurally generated, and then it's the same thing all the time.
No, I know, but I mean,
and that means No Man's Sky, which is procedurally generated, will always be the same thing every single time.
Yeah, but I mean, for the most part, procedurally generate some of the land, but for the most part, it's sculpted. Like Test Drive Unlimited 2, for the most part, is a huge map, but it's sculpted. Test Drive Unlimited 1, sorry, it's apparently 618 square miles. It's the whole of fucking Ibiza, isn't it?
I have no idea.
It's a whole island, like, to 1:1 scale, and it's fully crafted and everything.
No Man's Sky is only 2 months ago. Jesus.
But this is something as well, like, in theory, if you want to talk about, like, a large game, I mean, fucking X-Plane 10 has the entire, like, world 1:1 scale. I think X-Plane 9 has the entire world 1:1 scale and the entirety of Mars 1:1 scale accurately mapped.
Yep.
I don't know, X-Plane 10 got rid of Mars, and that really annoyed me. X-Plane 9 had the whole of Mars with Mars planes.
Mars planes.
And Mars gravity.
Maybe
and
there
Mars
just wasn't a market for people on Mars wanting to fly between Zaganop 5 and...
Why get rid of Mars? Why go, we got Mars out?
Fuck Mars, let's get rid of Mars. I vote now, let's just bomb Mars.
No, take it down with a sledgehammer. That is the best way to deal with Mars.
Free Mars, woo!
Now, apparently, the biggest open world game from this list I found is Guild Wars Nightfall at 15,000 square miles.
Yeah, but that's shit. Whoa, I thought the Lord of the Rings one was way bigger. Lord of the Rings Online or something had a huge map.
This is one of the lists I found, I don't know.
You've just found a fucking BuzzFeed article about it, haven't you?
No, it wasn't BuzzFeed.
What is it?
Xenoblade Chronicles is 70,000 square miles.
He's not saying what it is, it's Fuzzbead. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's answers.com. It's answers.com again.
Oh, no.
It's the oranges all over again.
Oh,
what about GeoGuessr, says the chat?
How many oranges are there left, Matt?
Legitimately, apparently Xenoblade Chronicles is bigger than Daggerfall.
Wow.
Really?
Xenoblade Chronicles is 70,000 square miles.
But is that just cheating because you're massive, so therefore it can pretend it is because the thing you're driving around in is a mile tall? Because that feels cheating. Because if so, I just create a game where my character is a giant who's 1,000 miles tall, so therefore if he just takes a few steps forward, he's the biggest game in the world.
Well, this is the thing that Matt was talking about, because you do spend the first 30 hours running around with it being the biggest thing in the world, but it's also has to still feel like a big world when you're 10 times the size. So it is kind of all built on that sort of double scale. So it is designed half in that cheat. Yes, everything's got to be sort of double scaled, but also it is valid to use the smaller units because you will end up running around quite a bit as a small person.
Hey, hang on, before we do anything, it's 10 past 10. We should take a break because I already have to pee.
Okay.
I'm cool like that.
Yay.
Matt, edit that bit out where I said I need to pee from the VOD. Matt, do that thing. Okay. Anyway, we're back for the final bit of whatever the fuck this thing is. And I said we're going to talk about some things, so I'm going to vaguely try and remember them and then talk about them.
Hold up. Whoa, wait. We're going to talk about things.
Yes.
Hold your fucking horses, Daniel.
My horses are not fucking currently. They're in separate stables.
Okay.
I like them.
Good.
You have a different stable for each of your horses, not a different... Blimey. Yeah. That Patreon money. I just keep my horses in different stalls in my stable because I'm a pleb, apparently.
No, he has one stable for fucking horses and another stable for recording this.
Yeah. I don't think anything about me is stable. Let's be perfectly honest about that. Right, carrying on from talking about Daggerfall, they leaked some footage of a canned PSP game for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which was an Elder Scrolls game for the PSP. And then it made me remember, wasn't Bioshock going to turn up on the Vita? And then I started to get on this thing of like the amount of like AAA games that were heading to the PSP or the Vita that just never made it, and now I just have all the sads. All of them.
Hey, related to PlayStation, we just got an email inviting us to the fucking E3 press conference.
Oh my god, I'm going. Where is it?
LA.
Where's that? Is it near Basildon?
No.
We went to LA before. You lasted 2 hours.
I lasted 4 hours before giving up and going to Disneyland, where everything made a lot more sense.
And the worst thing is, he's not even joking.
I had to meet
This was
people.
our one attempt at going to a YouTube convention.
Mm-hmm.
And you lasted 4 hours.
So bad.
Yeah, lasted 4 hours, met a lot of people. It was great fun. And then I went to Disneyland by myself. It was good. I had fun. I went to Disneyland.
Apparently, the people at the PlayStation office really liked your Ratchet and Clank video, Daniel.
Good.
Yeah.
It was very generous to them, certainly.
I like Ratchet and Clank.
Generous.
I like that.
I am way too into... I could give you a 2-hour talk about Ratchet and Clank if you wanted.
I'm sure you could.
Well,
let's not do that because it's the last segment.
Yeah, the next one's just going to be just before E3, so we actually might need that, actually, thinking about it. There's the PSP version of the Elder Scrolls game, because there's going to be like a Fallout game for PSP, and there's all these things that were like, it's an idea, and then they get canned. Like there was Saints Row 2 sort of equivalent for the PSP, that was leaked recently. There was all of these beautiful games, because I love my PSP Go. It's like my handheld console that I play the most. I don't know why. It's probably because there's a fucking great Yu-Gi-Oh game on it.
Your PSP Go?
Yeah, PSP Go, mate. I'm all about the PSP Go.
What?
The PSP Go.
What? You play on a PSP Go?
I have a black PSP Go. Yeah.
I remember you having it. I don't remember ever seeing you play it. But
why didn't you just play it a PSP?
Because I got it.
Because they were huge.
Yeah, they announced the Go, which was like later on, and it's a tiny little thing. It's really, really small. It's beautiful, but the PSP Go was it can't put any UMDs in it. It's all about downloading the games, etc. But what was absolutely superb about it was when it came out, it was right near the end of the PSP's lifespan. It sort of came out right near the end, and then they waited a bit, and then there was this special offer where it was only like 80 quid, and if you bought one during this month window, they gave you 10 free games.
Yeah.
And that included stuff like Little Big Planet. That's how I got the Assassin's Creed on the PSP. The amazing race. There was like a driving game that was insane. I cannot remember the name of it right now. Pursuit Force. That's the one. You had, I think it was Pursuit Force 2. There was a whole bunch of brilliant games. 10 brilliant games for completely free. So that's when I got the PSP Go. That's when I got on the PSP, and it's one of my most played consoles ever. I think it's a really nice little thing because it's so light and it's so small. And the battery lasts about 6 years, and that's like it's got a whole whack of great games on it. And I'm still buying new things. Like I'm getting into Metal Gear Acid is my plan. I want to get that. Although the PSP store is closed down, you can still sort of buy them through the PlayStation 3 and then copy them over or something. I can't fucking remember. But yeah, it's a nice little thing. I like it.
Ooh, ain't that good news?
Uh-huh.
I could go to E3 to go to this press conference live, which, it is fully watchable online. There is no advantage to going live. But I could go, and it would only cost the company £3,000.
No. No.
Why do people go to E3? I don't
Because then they get to meet.
Maybe they live in Los Angeles.
Hang on, wasn't there that year when Microsoft gave everyone a free Xbox?
Oh yeah, that would offset the £3,000 cost.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I paid $3,000 to get a fucking £400 Xbox.
That was the wankiest thing, because literally millions of people watch it at home. A few thousand watch it there. If you go, everyone here gets an Xbox. Everybody watching at home is like, oh, we don't give a shit.
Didn't Oprah Winfrey, though, do that, like, every episode?
Yeah, but then she unleashed the bees and everyone forgave her.
Okay.
That's
you all get bees!
Mm-hmm. While we're talking about Microsoft bullshit, actually, there is some interesting news about Microsoft floating around. I think actually just, the last day or two.
Uh-huh.
Though they haven't confirmed it yet, like various independent sources are all kind of pointing in the same direction, which is suggesting there's probably some truth in it. After kind of vaguely saying, oh, we're not following on from the PS4K, we're not worried about that, we're not going to rush out a variety of new Xboxes. Yeah, it turns out they are going to rush out a variety of new Xboxes. So by the end of this year, they want to produce a smaller, cheaper version of the Xbox.
One.
Then in 2017, they want to make a larger, more powerful version of the Xbox. And then presumably, if fairy tales have taught me anything, in 2018 they'll release an Xbox that's just right. But I'm honestly confused that the way they're going to go is, right, make a smaller, cheap one. Also, simultaneously, that engineering team over there, make a larger, more powerful one. We'll just fucking throw them both out and we'll see if anyone buys either of them. One of them's bound to work.
It's apparently 4 times more powerful than the Xbox, which is what the PS4 is doing. So basically, you're going to have a console generation every 2 years now. Which is ridiculously large cost for the amount I actually play on that.
Which asks you
thing.
Why not buy a PC at that
point? I think the same thing happened to the Nintendo DS, if I recall correctly. They released a smaller one, then they said, oh, let's also release an extra large one.
Yeah.
Because why the hell not?
Like now, that's what I don't like about the new 3DS, about the stupid name, is that some games just don't work on the 3DS and they need to be on the 3DS. And some 3DS games are built for the new DS and they just don't tell you that. Like Hyrule Warriors is a fucking slideshow on the 3DS, but works fine on the new 3DS. So yeah, they actually having more power in later iterations, unless you're giving it big renames, is going to piss people off, and it's going to confuse people, and I think it's going to be really bad for the industry as a whole. But fuck it might make money this time. So who cares? PC gaming.
But they're vaguely claiming that it's going to be able to do 4K, though I'm deeply suspicious that there's going to be enough power in there to actually make a decent 4K experience happen.
Yeah, I mean, well, that just means it can actually run the 4K movies. Like,
I think for a decent 4K experience, they require a decent game.
They would. 4K Blu-rays don't work on PlayStation 4. They don't actually work with it. You need a 4K Blu-ray player.
No, this is the real problem I have with 4K, because there's a lot of talk about it. A lot of people getting 4K margins. You know, you've got a 4K TV, and I've got like a 5K display. But like, there's just like no 4K content at all. Like, just fucking. Fucking think about it. Barely any fucking TV stations even run at normal HD. Let alone, Jesus.
Yeah.
I did actually see that the way
Netflix
that they
does
compress
4K. Netflix has
the way they
4K
compress 4K footage. They actually cover much better color quality. So that actually is the only thing that's made me more excited for 4K, because I don't need the extra resolution, but having better color quality would be interesting.
But Dan, only Netflix's own produced shows are in 4K, and only if you pay for their extra higher end.
Yes.
Thing.
Which I don't.
And you can only and it doesn't work on a PC. It doesn't work on a computer.
I can't get Netflix to work on my fucking PC anyway, so there's no point. Netflix doesn't work.
I only watch
you should
Netflix
probably
on
do
my
this
computer.
on when you turn on like browsing history and stuff like that. I'm like, no, go fuck yourself. Why would I do that? Go fuck off. Go fuck you. Fuck you.
Just fuck off. Just fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I remember the bit of news I wanted to talk about.
Ooh, news.
Sega.
This is the news.
It's about Sega. Someone may have had some.
Sega.
Are they releasing a Dreamcast too?
No, Sonic 06
Best
2
console
has
ever.
been announced. No, what they're doing, what they did was they added modding support to their emulated games on Steam. So that was what. Remember, I said that this was going to be a really big deal. That you can now buy a game
ROM hacks
and
forever.
you basically can then ROM hack that game because you've bought it legally on Steam. In the last month, they've sold 350,000 retro games through Steam, which is ridiculously high. That's pretty high for going, hey, you can have ROM hacks. It turns out people really want to play something like Knuckles, and Knuckles, which I really enjoy. It's a remake of Sonic and Knuckles, starring Knuckles the Echidna, called Knuckles, and Knuckles, where every character is just Knuckles.
That's a lot of Echidna love right there.
That's a lot of gliding. It's a lot of gliding. I very much enjoy that. But yeah, it was less than a month. They sold 350,000 retro games through Steam because they got this new thing. It's really good. If you boot it up, you get this like sort of early 90s bedroom that you can have a look around. You can then you have all your games that you've got on a shelf. And it's quite, before it was just like these menus and things for your games, but now it's a very cute little thing. I'm really quite fond of it. And fucking ROM hacks are fucking hilarious. Some are really hilarious. I think they actually released mod tools with that. I can't remember now. But yeah, they're doing a lot of. That is something that I went, oh, that's going to do good, and it's done really good. So I'm smart. That's what I'm trying to tell you all now. I'm just
looking up Echidnas right now. I'm not convinced
they
that they
glide
can actually
at all.
glide. No, they don't look like natural gliders, to be honest. I'd be really surprised if one could.
They don't even climb.
Yeah.
They barely look like they should be able to move. They look distinctly like waddlers to me.
Nor do they have giant knuckles.
No.
Really,
in fact,
we've been
there's
lied
many reasons
to.
why it's rather confusing that Knuckles is an echidna.
Yeah. And hedgehogs are surprisingly slow.
Yeah.
Well, that I accept as a joke, because Sonic's fast but hedgehogs are slow. But Knuckles flies because echidnas can't?
I see.
It's not as good a joke.
No,
I see nothing but a joke.
Hedgehogs.
Hedgehog at this point.
You see, hedgehog. The reason Sonic is a hedgehog is because he rolls up into a ball, and hedgehogs do go a lot quicker if you kick them.
It could have been a woodlouse. They did the same thing.
This is true. I would have accepted woodlouse as an option as well, or an armadillo.
They could have just had Knuckles be a flying squirrel. That would have been fine. Then he could glide.
That would have been very fun. I think you're right. A flying squirrel would have been smarter.
They have a fox that flies. Who gives a fuck about anatomy at this point?
Yeah, but that's because he waves his tail around like a helicopter.
Obviously.
That's fine.
That's one of those moments in fucking Sonic 06 where they see a human person standing next to a real dog, and you walk up to them as a giant blue hedgehog. You go, "What the fuck happened on this planet?" I want to cut down a tree and just see the ring, which is fucking neon pink and filled with glitter, and go, "What happened in that year?" I need to know more about this world. I'm intrigued, and they never go into it.
This is blatantly like a rebuilt part of the Fallout universe. This is what happened to the hedgehogs after the Fallout.
No, see,
they became Sonic.
This is clearly set in a failed state where all of the cute, fluffy animals from Sonic's and Tails' universe were destroyed by Dr. Robotnik, which is why Dr. Robotnik doesn't look like a human, and why Sonic and Tails and that lot all look so weird, is because they've clearly gone into a new universe of things that have grown up after Dr. Robotnik took all the cute ones and turned them into robots.
Uh-huh. But
That is my 2 second that I just come up with a theory.
fan theory. I like it.
That is obviously now a thing now.
You know what else is a thing?
Speaking of 4K gaming,
Oh.
since last time, don't you groan, this is interesting, I think some of us will find this interesting anyway. Since the last time we did this, the GTX 1080 now has some actual proper detailed benchmarking tests floating around.
Good.
And basically seems to exist to be the standard for 4K 60 FPS gaming.
No, but this is the problem, though. That's the problem with saying that, because the thing is, right, I'd much prefer to play... Because, okay, I use 1440p monitors, and I think 1440p monitors is the best monitors. Because I've got a 5K monitor next to my 1440p monitor, and I can honestly not tell the fucking difference.
Yeah.
I mean, this monitor's nice because you can edit a 1080p video at, like, full res and still have all your shit around you. That's kind of cool. But for just most people playing a game, 1440p is fucking great, and you get a better picture quality with 1440p monitors because you can spend a lot less on a 1440p monitor and get a lot more in color depth and accuracy and shit.
Yeah.
And you can actually run the goddamn games, because it's all well and good being able to, like, ooh, if you spend fucking £1,000 on a graphics card, you can run some games at 60 FPS at 4K as long as you're not doing anything else and your hard drive is alive and it's under ideal conditions.
Oh no! I feel I need to point out here that the GTX 1080 is $400 cheaper than a Titan X, which it is vastly superior to.
Okay,
But
what
the
frame?
Titan X
what
is
games?
built more for rendering, etc. That's the industry animal more than the gaming animal. The Titan itself beats it in many benchmarks.
True. It's also worth pointing out, I think, for anyone who gets too excited, that for most people, especially if you're only really planning to game at 1080p, there is not really any point to having a GTX 1080 whatsoever. The only time you're going to see a performance is if you're going to go into really high resolution.
Or VR.
That's when it comes to its own.
Yeah.
RVR, yes.
RVR?
RVR.
The new perfume
RVR.
RVR.
That's VR down in Somerset.
RVR.
God. Yes, unless you're going to go for VR or really high resolutions, there probably isn't much point getting a 1080. Though, admittedly, I think it represents pretty good value at somewhere around $600 anyway, to be honest.
It's pretty good value. I agree with what he's saying.
And it's got an impressively low power draw as well.
Speaking of impressively low power draw, Matt, how you doing?
What the hell are you about to seg
I'm just going to
into?
talk about Matt, really. He doesn't have great power
What have I
draw.
done?
So I
What? Why was this all solicited?
I was going to jump into Gran Turismo Sport is a thing, and they had a big thing for it, but apparently it looks super shitty, like really shitty.
I was just saying, looking at benchmarks of 1080. You've looked. I'm offended.
But low power draw sounds like a car thing, so I just thought I'd just say it, and yeah. Gran Turismo Sport's a thing, and apparently it looks really shit. So there's that.
Great. Yeah.
There's lots of... I've seen some of the bit... I don't give a shit. It's Gran Turismo. It's not fun. It's there for taking photos of the cars, and that's all they care about. So that's the thing. You see, that was a game...
Oh, you've just reminded me of another really cool thing for the 1080. One of the things they've got built in is like a little thing where you can freeze the game and it gets rid of the UI, and you can just move the camera around and take really arty photos and then put really cool filters and stuff over them.
Cool.
That's cool.
Built in like photo modes to every game.
How the fuck would
Okay.
that work?
I am looking at benchmarks.
I don't know,
Literally,
but I've read about
That
it
is
and
not
I've
going
seen
to be every
screenshots of
game.
it
That
being
is going to
done.
be supported games.
Okay.
Because like,
I'm
what if
looking
you've
at
got a 2D platform you're playing through it?
I assume it's games made in certain engines.
Yeah, I would say it'll be certain engines, and if you put the certain
there'll be
thing
engines,
in
I
and certain
guess.
stuff.
Okay, I'm looking at benchmarks of the 1080. Fallout 4 at 4K on a 1080 runs at between 30 and
Did you say 10K?
45. 4K.
10K?
Yeah, let's get 10K up here. 4K is for losers.
It runs at about between sort of 50 and 60 on Doom. Division between 30 and 45. I mean, the thing is, at that, it's still not good enough. I mean, the thing is, I'd much like look. All these games run at fucking like 100 at 1440p, and you're gonna get a much better experience because you're gonna be able to crank the fucking fidelity up. I'll take nicer shadows over fucking slightly high. Fuck off, 4. I really hate 4K.
I've noticed it. I mean, because I run across 3 monitors, so I run 1080 by 660 because I have the slight bit of bezeling in the middle. So I'm running at that, which is more in 4K one way, less in the other. But I run that at I got 120 FPS on Fallout 4 at that with the 2 Titans. So see, Titans are fine. You just need 2 of them. Titan X's with 64 gig of RAM. That'll keep you alive.
Like, fucking. I've went through a lot of monitors. Yeah. I've went through a lot because Amazon's refund policy is very lax. If you tell them there's a single dead pixel, they'll return it even 9 months after you bought it for full refunds.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I went through a lot of monitors, and I mean, I say 5K is great for 5K great for editing. Like on one monitor, it's great for editing. But there's no game. But why would you play games at 4K? Why? Stop that. Stop it immediately.
I'm personally happy just playing at 1080p with a ridiculously high FPS.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. 1080p is also fine.
Yeah.
I prefer 4040p because I like my monitors. I like my 27-inch monitors as opposed to my 24-inch monitors, and you notice the pixels more. So getting 4040p 27-inch works out better because the pixel density is a bit better. But
I like your words.
I still remember when 4K as a resolution was still just coming out, and there was cinemas trying to argue that you didn't need 2K, so you didn't need full 4K for a cinema. So frankly,
I think for cinema it works.
And yeah, so I frankly coming at it from the other side where it's like needing 4K for your monitor does seem just stupid and excessive.
Well, the problem with 4K is just the display technology is fucking doing really well, and it's accelerating really quickly to the point where we have really good 8K OLED displays which look fucking incredible. But the actual rendering technology and filming technology hasn't really caught up properly. It's all well and good saying your iPhone can record 4K, but it's shit 4K.
Yes.
This is the problem. I had a 4K monitor. I think Dell make, or it wasn't Dell, I think Asus made 2 versions of the monitors I used to have. They made a 1440p version and a 4K version. They were about the same price. You know what was funny? The 4K version was shit. Unless you paid fucking $2-3 grand for a 4K monitor, it's shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm ranting about 4K a lot, but it really annoys me.
No, I mean, it's important because there is that element of sometimes just having nice... there are things that sometimes people get obsessed about, and it's not necessarily the important thing.
Like megapixels.
4K phone.
Megapixels.
Megapixels is definitely one of them.
64 quadrillion megapixels. That's not a thing. Who gives a fuck?
Or
well,
when people spend huge amounts of money on digital cables.
Yeah.
It's
monster HDMI cables.
Well, yeah, it's like
it's got gold on the end.
It's like
it's gold plated.
It's worth having really fancy analog cables because it affects quality. But for a digital cable, it either works or it doesn't. There's no.
They sell HDMI cables with antivirus built in. That's antivirus protection.
What? No, that's not possible. That's too retarded.
Years ago. It was literally years ago.
That doesn't even make sense.
People buy it. Of course it doesn't make sense, but people buy it who don't know any better. Rich twats who don't know any better see it and go, "Oh, I'm rich. I want the best," and they buy it.
But you know what? It absolutely does protect. I think it was it originally started with the Xbox 360, but it does stop the viruses getting through. Absolutely will stop them because they can't anyway.
That's true. 100% of cables we've installed have never allowed a virus through.
Yeah.
That is a true claim they could make on the box.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
And they probably did.
Right, I think we teased everyone enough. I want to talk about Planet Coaster because, oh my god.
Yeah.
Alpha 2 is out. And
is it?
You can have floating islands, can't you?
I admit, I'm on Team Parkitect, and even I'm bloody blown away by what I saw of Planet Coaster.
I am arguing that Parkitect and Planet Coaster, you can play both for entirely different reasons, because Parkitects are much more of a logic puzzle thing, especially because they got the stuff paths and things. Whereas Planet Coaster is the insane creative detail madness, and I love it. So they've added terrain tools in Alpha Tool and coasters. Roller coasters are now officially in the alpha. I think it's actually quite a lot of types. I expected it just to be 1 or 2. I think it was 7 to 10 or something, maybe even more. But so there's a nice range of different coasters and things. They've added a whole bunch of new stuff. 2 of my favourite things one is the terrain tools. I'll get to that later. And two is there's now effects that you can put down. So if you want fire or smoke or electricity or bubbles or confetti, you can place those down, and things that will kick those out and make those appear, you can then just have them go off, whatever. So you can now add just even more sort of environmental stuff. So if you want to have like a haunted roller coaster, you can have a little bit of white smoke on the floor of the place where people walk through.
That just sounds wonderful.
All those, and then you can light it as well.
Can you time the fire so that you can turn it on and then turn it off as the roller coaster goes through, and then turn it back on in between?
There is a fire that is more repulsive. I haven't checked, and I've only had a really quick go with those things. But most likely that will be there in the end. Oh. But the main thing they've added is terrain tools. And normally terrain tools in a game like this, you click the button, you raise the terrain up, you push another button, it goes down, and you can flatten it. In this one, when you have, if you click and hold, it will drag up. And then if you move because it makes sort of a bulb at the top, and then it will drag up sort of a cylinder. If you move your mouse around it, you'll notice that the circle, which is like where you're pulling from, actually tilts with the landscape, so it makes like a disc across the landscape. If you then click and hold again, it will drag out at the angle that you placed it.
Yeah.
And then you can also receive things in that way, and you can also chisel things out, which means that unlike any other coaster game, pretty much any other terrain builder I've ever seen, you can build caves, and you can chisel anything you want out of the terrain. So one of the demo levels they've got with this actually has Mount Rushmore, because you can build Mount Rushmore in this game, and you can then paint it, because they've added terrain tools to paint the floor and stuff, so you can now paint the floor to be however you want. But it's so easy to use, and it's so quick, and the way you dig out, and all the tools are just so nice and perfect, that if you just want to make a pirate cove, you just, for 5 seconds, and you just play with it, and it's got that slight unevenness to it. Like, you can use it precisely, or if you just sort of like fling yourself at it and try and do stuff, it always looks really nice. They've done a good job making it always look really nice. But you can just do anything with those terrain tools. It's basically a 3D sculpting software they've included with the game now. And it doesn't like the game at all. The game runs absolutely fine, whatever the terrain is, as far as I can tell.
Bloody hell, your Planet Coaster video has 670,000
Good.
views.
I'm glad to be the official spokesperson for Planet Coaster. No, seriously, this game is it literally is becoming my dream game. It is, someone has taken Roller Coaster Tycoon and gone, hey, remember this thing you love? Well, we're going to make it modern, but better. We're actually going to just do as much as possible. I'm really
looking forward to getting my own hands on this as well, and seeing what the modern community comes up with.
Oh, God, that makes me blown away.
Because the way that it's designed, it's one where it's like, you can easily do, I'm going to have a Star Trek park. Like, you just need to put in a few Starfleet logos, and then you can shove that onto an already made sci-fi theme.
Well, I remember that because it's
so modular. It's like,
it's not the theming that's important. It's they give you loads of different styles of walls and decorations, and then you build your own buildings with them, sort of like you would in The Sims. You have the walls, you have the floors, but you can like put your decorations and stuff on anywhere. So some people are making things that just look 3D modern insane. What's that guy's name? Is it Silverette or something like that? A YouTuber? Yeah, it's Silverette. He makes stuff that just fucking blows my mind.
Is he the one who
Absolutely
does things
insane.
like the Mayan Temple and the Colosseum and things?
I have no idea.
I've seen a guy make a Colosseum using it with full seats and everything.
Yeah. There's the magic, but he focuses more on buildings and things, and they're spectacular. He just makes these such beautiful looking things, and I just don't understand. I'm not that good yet. See, this is what I want to. I'm not going to do a Planet Coaster series until the game is finished. That's one promise I've made myself. But I am playing an awful fucking lot of it. Incredible.
Can you at least do a new one for the terrain tools?
I will be doing a video about the terrain tools. That's going to happen.
For us who are living vicariously through you.
Yeah, Silver. Yes, the chat is saying that it's his thing. If you search for Grizzly Valley, that's what he's currently made. It's amazing. What's you hearing about? What?
Some news just came out.
Oh God!
Oh, we're going to be breaking news here. This is exciting. Is
it about the news TV that I heard about ages ago?
Yeah, it's in the works.
Yeah, I heard whispers about that for the last podcast, but I didn't want to mention it in case it was a saucy thing. But yeah, they're making a Mirror's Edge TV series. Who gives a fuck?
Oh dear.
nobody. Can anybody hit? Like, I love Mirror's Edge. I couldn't tell you what the original plot was about. I like you had to go save someone, and then you had to punch.
You had to save your sister. That's all.
You're a terrorist, and you're trying to tear down a really nice utopia.
You see,
basically, I think.
you could genuinely argue the first game but the second one, you're clearly the good guy, and that's what pisses me off most about it. Actually, no, there's a lot of things that piss me off about it.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure you can be that much of a good guy. The guy you meet up that kind of escorts you straight out of prison is clearly a massive douche nozzle.
Yeah, but it's implied. It's very much implied that the government and the controlling power are evil. You're the rebels, and you're breaking free of the molds and shackles and blah blah.
Yep. Yeah, I hate it. I hate that thing. It doesn't matter. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're gonna make a video when it comes to the full game?" Nope, I'm not gonna fucking play it. That beta did not impress. Unless people suddenly go, "Oh, the main game's completely different and actually decent."
Oh
I'm not gonna touch
God.
It.
Oh God. You know what? Fucking a load of people got really angry. James Rolfe. Angry Video Game Nerd. Recently, because he said in a video that he doesn't like the look of the new Ghostbusters film.
Yeah, well,
and he's just not going to see it. And I can just imagine like a load of people getting pissed off at you saying you're not going to play it.
They probably will.
Oh.
They probably will. But I'm just not... Because here's the thing, right? There's two things. One, I'll make a video on it and people not like it. People are like, oh, you knew you were going to like that. Why'd you make a video on it? Or two, I don't do a video on it and then people complain that way. And I'd much rather people complain that way because then I don't have to play a shitty game. And I'm also not going to see the other Ghostbusters movie because Ghostbusters movies are now statistically all bad.
I mean, I'll be seeing the Ghostbusters movie and playing the game, and I can tell you if they're terrible.
I'm going to be building the original Ghostbusters Lego HQ, which is sitting around.
Good for you. Well
I got the new Minecraft set. The new Minecraft set of Lego is the village, and it's got so many. It's one of those like big sets they do. It's super good.
Yep.
What are you yapping for? What you fucking?
I'm not jealous.
For?
I'm just.
You're not jealous.
What?
You're fucking jealous. He's jealous.
No.
Jealous of nothing.
Mm.
Yeah. Just fucking thing.
On the topic of shit things.
Oh God! What? Have you finally realised you've... whatever, man.
After over 2.5 years and $4 million spent, Mighty No. 9's got its new trailer, I think, today.
Oh.
And blimey, does it look utterly, utterly terrible, and everyone agrees so. It's got a dislike ratio pretty much right up there with the flipping new Call of Duty game.
Oh, that's good.
The community is not
It's not
happy
right
with
up there.
this.
The Call of Duty game's like the second most disliked video ever on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's in absolute numbers. In terms of the ratio, like to dislike. Mighty No. 9 is kind of in the same sort of ballpark.
Is it a new trailer or what?
There is a new trailer. The art style is completely not what was originally promised. It's nothing like the concept art. The game doesn't really look like anything that was... It's incredibly cringeworthy as well. There's an awful, awful, horrible narration to it.
I'm watching it looks mute terrible right now, but God, that looks atrocious.
Deep Silver.
It looks like... The thing is, the
Silver.
gameplay is from 1990.
Oh, it's Deep
and
Silver.
the graphics are from about 2000.
It's Deep Silver.
Oh my God, it looks awful.
Yeah.
Oh God, it looks like a really cheaply made indie game.
It looks like a bad PS2
Deep
game.
Silver, if you don't know this, were the guys who took over Saints Row and then made the awful Saints Row 4. They are the guys who published Ride Tail Retribution and made Homefront the Revolution. So basically, they're just people who made shit.
Didn't they do that Dead Rising thing as well?
No, Dead Island. It was Dead Island they did with that.
Yeah, the Dead Island.
I think Deep Silver's Dead Island. Yeah.
Boob statue.
Boob statue for never fucking mind.
The chainsawed boob statue.
What the fuck? Why does he look like a cat?
It just look so awful. The graphics are bad. The art style's terrible. You have to listen to it with the narration as well, because the narration is so cringeworthy. You'll actually not. You'll want to stop watching because it's so bad.
Let's listen.
It does look.
What the fuck is this? You can do combos on combos.
Yeah.
Absorption boost.
I know you like the combo on combo action.
Hashtag absorption boost.
What the fuck? Oh, it looks so...
It's better muted.
This cost $4 million to make.
It cost them
They got given $4 million between Kickstarter and PayPal donations.
Are
$4
you
million,
kidding?
and this has been in production since August 2013, and this is what they've come up with.
It looks so cheap.
This is why people are angry.
There are so many indie... Like fucking Insurgency. Insurgency 2.
So I'd like to point out that one of the high comments of Mighty No. 2 more like it is very funny. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh. Like, look. How does it look so cheap?
I know, it would look bad on a PS2.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's awful.
It really
there
looks
are a lot of
genuine.
good-looking
The explosions.
PlayStation
Look at
2
the
games.
explosion effects as well. Just focus on those explosions.
It's just orange.
Yeah,
It's just an orange blur.
for me, I think the explosions are where it's really looks like jelly.
Holy shit. Wow, they're just like emanating little things of just like orange and a little bit lighter orange.
Yeah, it's like kind of little explosions of Cheeto dust.
Yeah.
Little bursts of Cheeto dust in the air. That's the
Look
explosion.
at the fire in the background. That's so awful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thoroughly recommend you all go and watch this. It's kind of amazing.
I'll put a link to it in the Twitch
It's
chat, sorry,
I
if you're
honestly
watching
don't
the
know
VOD.
how you mess up that much after $4 million, 2.5 years, and you are literally have reconstructed the team that made Mega Man 2 and 3,
Hey,
and that's
if you're
what
watching-
you make.
If you're watching on the VOD, just search Mighty Number 9.
No,
trailer
it'll be gone by
masterclass.
then.
Oh, first of all, oh my god. Okay, pre-order now to receive the Retro Hero DLC, and it's basically just a Minecraft fucking model. It's coming out on PS4, PS3, PS Vita, Xbox One, Xbox 360, Wii U, 3DS, and Steam, and the Nvidia Shield.
You know when, like, 40-year-old to 50-year-old corporate people write youth words?
Yeah.
That is what that sounds like. Do you like awesome things that are awesome? Then you gotta play this freaking game, dude. I'm like, alright, Vince McMahon, steady on.
The animations are
It reminds
will
me of
point
that
out,
bit in The Simpsons where Mr. Burns dresses up as a teenager and goes to Springfield Elementary to try and tell them what to do with the oil.
I would like to point out that you're right. This is the worst over speaky narration. That's the word that is I've ever heard. I can't listen away. Oh my God.
It's like people use the word like cringeworthy too liberally, but that is literally you listen to that and you cannot help but cringe at how bad it is. That is literal cringe.
I mean, the thing is, the actual mechanically, it looks okay.
It looks a bit floaty, to be honest. It doesn't.
It does look a bit floaty.
It doesn't.
It looks a bit
There's not
floaty,
much
it
weight
looks-
to it.
No, I'm not saying it looks good. I'm saying it looks.
And if you look at like when
competent.
people are dashing, like after they dash, he immediately goes back to normal speed. So it doesn't feel like there's
no,
any
I'm not-
momentum to
yeah,
it.
it's not. It doesn't look good, but it looks average.
I like
It looks like an.
the idea of you destroy a bad guy and you absorb them, though admittedly Kirby managed that a long time ago, so it's not exactly new.
Well, that's the general fairness. Like this is built from a gameplay template from literally 1990.
How
This is
big's
supposed to
that
be Mega
team?
Man 3, which was
How big's that
1990.
team? How big's the dev team?
I do not know.
They use the
Because
hang on. They have a thing that says this will make the bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night. Anime fans are literally the people who give a fuck about this game. What?
Yeah.
Why would you do
Anime
that?
fans on prom night. What the fuck?
They
is that
literally-
even?
the same team
fans are
did an
lonely.
anime
They're lonely and no
Kickstarter.
one loves them, so they'll cry. It's funny, Matt. Laugh, Matt. Fuck you, Matt. Laugh. Laugh at the funny, Matt. Corporate funny. Corporate said this would be
Right,
funny,
they got-
so laugh
they
at the
got
fat
th-
fucking
they
fat
got
kids
three-
who no one
They
likes.
got.
You know, this same company, this will make you laugh, this same company did a Kickstarter to fund an anime series.
You know what's even more
Okay,
funny?
yeah, they
the
have-
trailer's called Masterclass. The Masterclass on how to not make a fucking trailer.
4 million.
Yeah,
Jesus.
4 million US made
You know,
that.
I legitimately want to find out how many
but-
are in the dev team because
That was were they the ones who did the thing with 4 Degrees
Red
C,
Ash.
was it? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
they did the Red Ash anime and game. There was also dubious bullshit where they pulled that it had actually been pre-funded all along after the
Yeah.
Kickstarter failed.
I can honestly
By a Chinese
say that I
publisher.
have made a better video game than this one.
Yeah. This is a team so dubious that Jim Sterling's actually done an episode just dedicated to their bullshit in the past. There is a dedicated Jim Sterling episode just to these guys.
okay, so on the dedicated dev team, there
For the record,
is,
that is
4,
one of
5,
the
6,
few. Sorry, the
7,
anime
8.
was going to be made by one of the few anime companies I actually like, because I really like their track record of things, and even I didn't kickstart them because I looked at that and went, "That looks as dodgy as anything."
Wow.
Okay, so they've got 8 staff on the dev team, and then they've got about 3 like separate contractors, like for partner sourcing and making videos and like PR consultants.
They also
and
have a
translation
monkey
shit.
with very, very special needs who does the trailers for them.
Yeah, find the person who did the videos, because that person needs to get himself fired right now.
I can't tell you. It's a team video, 2-player productions, a 3-man team dedicated to documenting the world of video games. 2 players have built a name for themselves among Kickstarter backers from their work on Minecraft, the story of Mojang. Who cares? Massive Childless and the record-breaking Double Fine Adventure.
They made very good documentaries of.
They might have just done the
They did the documentaries of all of those things, and I really liked their stuff.
They're
with Double Fine.
documentarians. Matt, you fucked up. Hashtag Matt fucked up.
What? Leave.
I don't think.
Hashtag Mighty Number Matt. Yeah.
I think all they did.
Matty number 9.
I thought for Mighty Number 9, all they did was the Kickstarter video. I didn't think they did anything other than that. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't. At least I'm looking on the Kickstarter. This is the only. I don't know if they have a website or something. Ooh, we're going on a little trip here, a little journey.
Yeah, this is genuinely a game where once it's finished crashing and burning, I'd actually like to see like a breakdown of the accounts, like where the hell did the money go?
No, this is interesting because, like, I mean, I've had conversations with indie devs before about like how like Bear Simulator was a big thing, and where that got a lot of money. I don't know how much did Bear Simulator get?
It wasn't like nowhere near this amount of money.
Well, it wasn't there this much. No, it was 100,000.
Yeah.
Right. 100,000, and there was a lot of arguments. People going, "Oh, you got $100,000 and you made this," and a lot of people hated it. And the argument I heard from a lot of indie devs was, if they spent 2 years in the full time making it, that's all living costs and all development costs, and that's everything.
Yeah,
that's fair.
No, I agree. 100,000 isn't much. It's like
No.
It's like when Skullgirls did the extra character, and they were like, "We need 300,000 to make a new character," and everyone went, "What? To make a extra character, it's going to cost that much?" And everyone in the industry said, "How are you going to do it for that little? Because you need to pay full-time artists and animators for a good sort of amount of time, which means you need significant amounts of money."
Was it? It wasn't 300,000, was it?
It was something like that.
It was 150,000.
Was it?
150,000.
I'm sorry.
They got 820,000 from that like extra character. But no, that's the interesting thing though, because yes, it's expensive making cameras, it's expensive doing all this stuff, but for form, like I've seen, the thing is, right, you can justify it however you want, but the fact of the matter is, I've seen indie devs who've made something in their spare time in 6 months make a better platformer than that.
And the thing is, like, often when an indie game crashes and burns, like, you can say, okay, it's because the team wasn't very experienced, they didn't know what they were doing, they didn't know how to manage it. This is not the case here, because this is literally long-term AAA developers who have a lot of history with Sega who made Mega Man 2 and 3. These people know how to make a good game. They're experienced professionals. So they don't have the "we just didn't know what we were doing" excuse.
What, do you remember at EGX, and we saw that game called Seraph that you really liked? Remember how that was made by one guy in 6 months?
Yes, I do. It was very impressive for one guy in 6 months.
Yeah. It's a fighting side gun, actually very similar mechanics to Mighty Number 9. It looks good, it works, and it's competent, and it was made by a guy in 6 months without funding. So, fuck you, Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
And you.
Fuck you.
No,
I've worked out what happened!
He was an ex-member. He was an ex-member of. The guys who make Little Big Planet.
Media Molecule.
Media Molecule.
Yeah, he was.
So
he was Media Molecule.
We know that he definitely has platforming skills.
Dan, who the fuck made it?
Hi, I'm here.
Who the fuck made it?
I worked out the process of making this trailer. I worked out what they did was they went, "Hey, Deadpool's popular right now," and then they made somebody watch Deadpool 3 times in a row, and they go, "Write a trailer about how you feel right now." That's what came out.
Oh.
Because that is like the shitty. I do love insulting anime fans when it's got a tie-in anime. I think that's just beautiful.
Isn't Rebecca an anime fan?
That's just. Hey! Now I have personal feelings against Deep Sea. Actually, they published Ride to Hell. They're already in my shit list. Ruined Saints Row, tick. Published Ride to Hell, tick.
In my general experience, I've generally ended up fancying a lot of people who are anime fans. So I wouldn't sort of have sort of a sort of negative view of anime fans anyway.
No, I don't. I just have a negative. No, there's the obsessive anime fan, but that's not a negative view of obsessive anime fans. That's just an obsessive view. That's just a negative view of anyone who's obsessive. Obsessive fandoms. No, yes, obsessive fandoms. Fuck them.
Hey, shit! Look at the time. We should wrap this up.
I mean, I can go very much in depth into how Star Trek shit works, but fuck excessive fandoms.
I found a really good little blog where this guy actually makes really detailed, like, cutouts of the starships in, like, an LCAR style. They're really cool.
Ooh,
Oh,
really
I have
fun.
one more bit of gaming news.
Oh,
Okay, wrap things up with a bit of gaming news,
to wrap
Dan.
everything up. They've announced a first-person puzzle game where you play as sentient corn, and it's called Maze.
yep.
Is it a maze game?
It's a puzzle game.
Are you in a
No,
maze?
you're Maze.
You know, I went to a maze when I was young called the Amazing Maze Maze, and it was my
I
favourite
went
name
to
ever.
an amazing
I went to
maze
that,
maze.
yep.
Yeah, we all went there. We all went there together, the big group party of maze. Actually, we just wanted to lose each other for a while. It was a distraction tactic more than anything.
Yeah. We, in
Anyway.
fact, lost Matt and came back with a teenage goth girl.
It's true.
And that is his origin
Ooh.
story.
Yeah, but she won't stop crying after prom night for some reason. So,
Yeah.
Hey, look, I did the joke that they did! Well, I can advertise video games! Fuck it, I'm out.
I'm looking at
I'm
this.
dropping my mic.
I'm just looking at the. Sorry, I'm looking at the website. It's
I've
terrible.
dropped my mic, Matt. Matt,
Okay.
Matt, I've dropped my mic, end it.
You haven't dropped the mic though. It didn't. You just. It seemed like you just lightly laid it down upon your
Well,
desk.
yeah, I
It
didn't
wasn't a
want
very
End it,
heavy.
Matt.
It wasn't a
End
very
it.
heavy.
End
mic.
it, Matt.
Matt.
The Nerd Cube.
Yeah, fit.
Matt.
The Nerd
Matt,
Cube.
that was the
Okay,
end.
John.
The Nerd
That's
Who.
the end, Matt. I mic drop.
The Nerd Cube. Boo, boo, boo.
John, would you like to do your miniature nerd
Yeah,
version
do
of
the
that again?
miniature nerd version to wrap it up.
No.
Miniature nerd.
Do the
miniature nerd.
do the
Miniature
miniature
nerd.
nerd version, and then do your Dan impression. Go on.
Yeah, I want to hear the down impression.
Hello, procrastinators, and welcome to the Podcats.
I don't know how you managed to sound like an American doing an impression of an Icelandic person doing an impression of me, but that was fucking good. Well done.
Oh, John, you're so terrible.
End it. Cut the audio. Cut the audio.
Cut the audio.
Bye. Goodbye.
Thanks for coming. We have
Bye.
posters. Go buy the
Go away,
posters.
Matt's
Thanks. Bye.
posters. of Matt's face.
They're not my posters. They're your. They got you on.
They've got me on. Matt,
Also-
fuck you. I'm suing you.
I'm on one of them.
Oh,
You can graffiti that one.
yeah. Put a
Yeah.
Hitler moustache on it.
Yeah, you do what you want. I mean, it's already implied. that I don't need to
Implied,
put a moustache on to make me look
Implied.
evil. though.
It's implied.
Implied
It's very sophisticated.
Hitler-tash.
It's very sophisticated.
Drop my mic again.
Bye. Oh dear.